I don't know what's going on right now. It's not letting me. Give me a sec.
So, Ricky, how you doing?
Good. It says that we're live right now, so I can't tell if this is going and that Curtis started this and did not hit what he was supposed to. Curtis, did you start this already?
I have no idea, fellas.
Hold on a second.
We're just going to play this intro video and go.
Play the intro. He said live as fuck. Everyone says it's live. Play that intro video, man. You done messed this up.
Shout out to Curtis.
Welcome into an all-new episode of Panthers on Tap. I'm Curtis Rauen, joined by Bryson, Karbley, Ricky Raines. Coming to you guys on a Wednesday evening. The Carolina Panthers are back on top of the NFC South, division champs, and we finally get to say it, boys. Back in the playoffs since the 2017 season.
Go.
First home playoff game since 2015. Gentlemen, it has been too damn long, and it is good to finally be in this spot in January. Good to see both of you.
Yeah, man. Good to be seen. Bryson, how you doing?
Fuck, dude. It feels so good, man. I got chills just hearing Curtis say it, and I've known it for a while, of course, and it just still feels good to just hear other people say that the Panthers have a playoff game this weekend. The first time that we have done a Panthers on Tap show and our team is in the playoffs. This is an unreal feeling. I love it. This is what I dreamed of when we started this podcast, is talking about meaningful football in January. And here we are. We finally made it, and we have an exciting matchup to talk about this weekend.
And look at you. You got the Super Bowl 50 patch right there. It's a Cam Newton jersey. I see Curtis over there with the I'm Back shirt. It's Cam Newton extravaganza. We're going to get into why that's the case as well. We're giving away 2 tickets tonight to that playoff game that you just talked about, the home playoff game here in Charlotte, North Carolina at the Bank. Going to be electric. And look, I want to get into something real quickly, guys, before we start talking, because I know that the chat is probably going to want this and they're probably going to ask about it. But we didn't win last week, boys. Now, that video that everyone loves so much, the song that everyone loves so much, that's our winning video, right? For like each week. And we said at the beginning of this season that we would throw that cowboy hat on. I do a little hillbilly accent and you know, I tell you something. I tell you what is what I tell you. But then we play that video, right? Now, I don't want to disappoint everybody, but I don't think we're going to be able to play that video tonight because we didn't do what we're supposed to do. We're going to have to play it differently. I hope it sufficed. Now, I'm not wearing a cowboy hat this time, But I am wearing a celebratory hat.
Let's
This is
go.
one of them hats they give out in the locker room when you win the division championship. The Carolina Panthers are NFC South division champs, baby. Let's go.
Is it a hot take to say I like that video better? I mean,
Well, I mean, it's a championship video, so no, it ain't no hot take to me. That's exactly what we've been working towards, right?
yes, sir.
Ricky, you always get it done. That's all. We were reluctant about this before the episode, but hey,
I told them that we weren't going to play the video tonight before we got on the episode, and they both looked at me like I had 7 heads attached to my neck. They were like, "Man, you better chill out."
But hey, man, we're excited. It's obvious. You guys have seen the news by now, but Cam Newton is going to be banging the drum this upcoming weekend at Bank of America Stadium in his big return. He's also going to be at the Roy and Riot tailgate on Saturday doing his 4th and 1 podcast live, hoping the weather holds out for all of this as he comes back to Charlotte in what is going to be an electric. I think I texted you guys, or I know I texted someone and said there might be a small earthquake in Charlotte on Saturday. It is going to be rocking.
Can I tell you why I'm laughing right now at all this? Curtis has his hand on this thing because he's trying to hold it underneath that fedora, and it looks like he's in the field right now in some sort of like dust tornado, and he's like trying to hold on for dear life to let you know, breaking news, Cam Newton's gonna be there. I just got to get out of here alive. I feel for you guys because I've worn that stupid fucking cowboy hat for like what 8 weeks this season. Now I finally got a good hat that I can wear my earpods on.
Looks damn good too. Damn.
Hey,
good.
we're getting there. I don't know what Bryson's headphones got, but mine are not staying. Here we go. That's a little bit better. Can you guys hear me? Do I sound all right? Because I know this mic is pressing.
Yeah, for being in a sandstorm, you sound pretty good.
Okay. Well, hey, man, it is good to be here. I'm gonna keep probably reiterating that. Like, Bryson, we've been through hell and back on this pod. Ricky, you've been through hell and back on this pod these past season and a half. And we are finally to a point where we can feel good about this team and are in a playoff game. So I am super pumped. I know our chat is blowing up. Before we get to that, I do just want to mention, this is going to drive me nuts. The giveaway. Ricky talked about it. So we're giving away 2 tickets to the wild card matchup this weekend against the Rams. 4:30 kickoff. It's section 540, row 16. It's like the 30-ish yard line. I mean, for the 500 section, these are pretty good seats. It's very simple. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Comment #playoffs on tap in the comments in the stream, whether you're on YouTube or Twitter listening. Comment that. You will automatically be entered. If you're a member, you will also get 3 entries. I look like a rabbi and Bryson looks like a pimp. So here we are.
Bryson looks like Dick Tracy, but I feel like that's like an investigator's book that he's got right there at the top. Like,
oh, that's an ace card for Ace Boogie.
Oh, look at that. I couldn't even tell, man. It looked like a police shield. I thought you were about to write somebody a citation out of your fedora.
Nah.
So members, you automatically get 3 entries into the ticket giveaway. And we have Seahawks on here. Someone fix that. Come on now. Ricky can fix that for me quick. And then if you give us a $5 super chat at any point tonight, that'll be an extra entry per $5 super chat. Your best chance to win these tickets, I will be honest with y'all, is to become a member. It's $4.99 a month. Our members have hit majority of these giveaways. And then obviously the super chats and everything else helps as well. But that is the way to do it. We're pretty pumped. We want to fill the bank. It's going to be insane on Saturday. I can't reiterate that enough, but I do want to get to some of the comments here. We got old school Panthers fan. Let's go. Keep pounding.
Let's go.
Miss Raines, as always, we're in the playoffs, guys. Can't wait to see Cam pound the Panthers drum. He's back. Keep pounding.
That's my favorite listener right there. Sorry, I'm biased. My favorite one right there.
Bleed Green 49ers CLT. Keep. And then right after that, pounding. Beautiful. Good work.
Good work.
We had a new member out of the gate. I think this was before the stream even started. Shout out to Jessica Martin. That's 3 entries right off the bat.
Cheers, Jessica. I hope
Remember,
that
members, if you comment hashtag playoffs on tap, you also will get an extra entry. So that'll put you at 4 already. We want to, and that's for the folks that are members that are listening in tonight. So take advantage of that. And
don't be confused. When you hear Curtis say hashtag, it's actually the same thing as hashtag. It's the same thing. Just use a hashtag, not a hashtag. I didn't want to confuse anybody because they forget that you're from Wisconsin. You're doing a Panthers podcast, and every time it's only when you say hashtag, bro.
No, it's bag too. It's bad. I get it. I get it. So we got Jessica, and we also have a couple other members. We'll get to that. We have Talon, the fan of the year. Don't forget to vote for him. He's back.
Yes,
appreciate you as always, Talon. Steven in here. Let's go, Cam, banging that drum. Kylie, live as fuck. All right, we get it. Appreciate it.
That was when we were asking, are we live? You were gone, and Bryson and I were sitting here, and all of a sudden we both looked up at the screen and saw the live thing, and I was like, hey, did he start this? Are we just sitting here talking to each other right now? So, yeah, that was a great intro tonight.
We also have – yeah, I see that now. I see all the comments. Here we go. Katie, we are so freaking back. She's probably making fun of us that we couldn't get this thing off the ground running. Curtis is too damn pumped for Cam Newton. Said, fuck that intro vid. Nate's in here. He was one of our giveaway winners. What's up,
Nate?
Guys, appreciate you. Anthony, we're so back. Sorry, I'm trying to feed through these as quickly as possible. You guys
don't forget, if you guys are members, you get that little emblem next to the name. We're going to see that, and we'll make sure to bring the comment up. We won't be able to bring every single person's comment up. Usually in the chat, but members, we always bring it up so that we can touch on those. It's one of the perks of the membership.
Apparently, Mickey Loomis is throwing some shade out there. Yeah, I don't give a shit about him. No win, 0-0 record now. No vid. Nicole, keep pounding. Appreciate you. Kyle's in here. Keep, and then I'm loving the chat where you guys are following up on these. I do.
I think I just skipped you. Sorry. I think I just skipped you.
We got DJ Fish Nipples ready for Saturday. I'd love to get these tickets and witness Cam coming home. Might need to get some either way.
There you go.
Good luck to you. Nipples. All right. I'm just trying to hit everyone that we got Swan Man 76. Keep pounding. Can't believe Cam. I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's fire, right? And then this is an example right here, right? Playoffs on tap. Hashtag playoffs on tap. Data by Samantha. You're in. There's one entry. Our members, I think Bryson was saying this earlier. Members, you get 3 stress-free entries just by being a member. But if you do the hashtag, you will have 4 entries in. Then we see some of these super chats that are going on.
Yeah, let's do these quick here. Let's do Grayson 6517 499. Just wanted to say keep pounding. Love you guys. I'll be there Saturday. Last time we had this opportunity, I was just a kid. Can't wait to see Cam. Thank you so much, Grayson. Appreciate you. That's another entry.
We do.
Guys, I can only take this at so much longer. I'm going to be honest with you. Talon, and this is the first time we've had this. Talon, appreciate you. Gifted 5 Panthers on tap memberships. I don't know how that works. I'm hoping either we sort that out. I'm not sure. It's the first time we've had that gifted to us. So I don't know if that.
Curtis, see if you can open up the YouTube side or whatever, and see if there's a thing that says we can hand it out to subscribers. Maybe we could do that.
So appreciate you, Talon. That's huge for us.
Yeah, cheers, Talon.
You. Ricky's mom here. Panthers are at home. Team is getting healthier. Cam is back. NFC champ, $17. Thank you.
Y'all know why it's 17? Can y'all guess why it's 17?
Last time we made playoffs?
Nah. That's her favorite player of all time, Jake Delhomme.
Oh, Jake Delhomme.
Big old Delhomme fan. Big old Jake Delhomme fan. Cheers. Let's go, Mom.
Raging Cajun.
You sound like Chris Berman. You sound just like Boom.
Yeah, it was too much. Man, this chat's blowing up. I love
Alex Blanton,
it, man.
Another new member.
I'm falling behind on these comments, guys. Oh my goodness, they're blowing us up with entries here.
Everyone wants a ticket to the playoffs, bro. It's Cam Newton. Cam Newton's going to be there. And that's the crazy part. We sit here and talk about it. It ain't even just about Cam. It's the football game.
We got a first-timer in here. Been a fan of this team since 2008. Can't wait for Saturday. Hey, thank you for tuning in. check us out. We do a shit
Cheers.
ton of giveaways, talk about Panthers football, drink beer, and Ricky takes a couple shots every once in a while. So we appreciate you.
I can't wait to tell you what I'm drinking. I got some appropriate stuff for tonight.
All right. If we missed your comments, I apologize. There's a ton. We will get there. Why don't we start with that, Ricky? We're 15 minutes in. We haven't talked about what we're drinking tonight. We got to shout out our guy here as well. Carl Hungus. I'm sure better than whatever Ricky is drinking. You're on mute.
On mute. I was over here trying to. If you haven't been to the show before, this is a little segment we like to call "What Are You Drinking?" This is from a good friend of ours, Clay Wright, longtime viewer, listener, and he says, "I'm sure it will be better than whatever Curtis is drinking." So it's a long time running joke. We figured we'd throw up some swanky music, and do this little bit. You guys want me to start it off tonight?
Yeah.
All right, I'll start us off. So look, the one thing that I have first is just a beer that I truly enjoy. I saw it was at the store. This is Hop Slam Ale from Bell's Brewery. It is a double IPA, 10% brewed with honey and a whole bunch of hops. Terrific beer. One of the first beers that I really got into when I got into like craft beer. Really drinkable double IPA, tasty, really, really good stuff. Second beer that I got, and this is exactly what I feel like Saturday's going to be for us. This is the Wedding Crasher IPA. Because what I want this team to do, I want them to show up on Saturday, invited or not, welcomed or not, and I want them to be the star of the damn show. Go out there, have some fun, live it up. Rule 65, play like a champion, no excuses, right? I believe that's what Vince Vaughn said. Listen to him. He's right. No excuses, play like a champion, leave no crasher behind, go out there and kick some ass. Now, what I said I had appropriate for tonight, because Curtis teased it and said, well, Ricky might take a couple shots. You bet your ass I might take a couple shots tonight. We're going to the playoffs, and this is the very first Panthers on Tap show with playoff implications. So I've got Johnny Drum bourbon so that I can do my part by hitting the drum too. Maybe I'll take 4 of them the same way that they do 4 hits on the keep pounding drum. We'll find out. This is from Willett Distillery, by the way. Willett makes really good bourbon. Johnny Drum. Nice little bourbon for us. Bryson, what you drinking on, man?
I'm drinking on entering these names in the giveaway. No, I am drinking. I'm starting with, I got 3 beers tonight. I thought about bourbon, whiskey as well, but I do have to wake up extremely early for work in the morning. I'm locked in all night, but I prefer not to have a hangover at 5 a.m. So I'm going with a beer called Party Time Pilsner. It is from a brewery in Portland, Oregon. It's called Wayfinder Beer. And then I also, in the cooler, I have a pink Starburst Sour that I found at the bottle shop, and then a Lone Rider Kolsch left over. So I got 3 beers ready to go. Plan on drinking them all. Having a good time tonight, talking playoff football, baby.
Yeah, I got Maker's Mark and Coke that's half gone already, and then some holiday beers that I have left over from Christmas. So that's what we'll be sipping on the whole night. I'm still trying to figure out how we sort out these memberships. We'll get that sorted out by the end of the episode, I promise. But a lot to talk about, and we kind of have to start with the negative shit. The Buccaneers game this past Saturday. So let's start there. Man, that was a rough one. So let's start with the flea flicker. Let's talk about the flea flicker. That's, I think, a good starting point, and we can kind of expand from there. Panthers are driving, had finally a somewhat successful drive working in the game. I believe it was the 4th quarter. They finally get to the red zone 20-yard line, and Dave Canales draws up a flea flicker play in wet conditions at the 20-yard line. Even if it was successively flipped back to Bryce Young, I don't know if there was anyone open on the play, which is a whole conversation to get into. So, Bryson, let's start with you. the decision to call the flea flicker at that point, were you as mind-boggled as everyone in this fan base? Or maybe
I didn't even.
Oh, maybe you could be the outside. Maybe you like that call.
I can promise you, I didn't. So when it first happened, I wasn't even aware that it was a flea flicker that was called, because, like you, Curtis, and like many other people have pointed out, I didn't see anything that, well, first of all, resembled a successful flea flicker being attempted. Wide receivers running routes that were conducive to a quote-unquote trick play like the flea flicker. The area of the field that you were on, in the conditions that was happening at that time with the rain, it blew my mind, man. It was a bad call. We've talked about it before on the show with donuts. That's exactly what that was. You were. I'll let Ricky say the saying if he wants to, but
you don't want to say it. Are you nervous?
It just wasn't a good play call, man. It really wasn't. Obviously, we saw what happened. It might be revisionist history. If that play worked out and, hey, the flea flicker was successful for a touchdown, obviously it's a different conversation, but you don't run that play where you were at, in the red zone or almost in the red zone. At that time on the field, you were driving, you had a sustained drive, you were about to put points on the board, and you got cute. So wasn't a fan of the play call. Hopefully he learns from that. I feel like I say that every week about some of these Canales play calls, is that, okay, maybe this is just a learning point for him. I'm getting tired of saying that. At some point you have to quit making mistakes and learn from your lessons. And he's done that in some areas, I'll say, but unfortunately we continue to see some of these issues week in and week out. So hopefully in the playoffs he locks in. He calls the best game of his career as a play caller in the 3 years he's been doing it. And the Panthers look good, but was definitely not a fan of that play call in that situation.
Yeah. I do believe that it was a flea flicker. There's people that are saying, are we sure that it was a flea flicker? Are we sure that Rico didn't just slip and go rogue? No. And Bryson, I understand and agree with you that, like, the concepts that they have going there, the personnel package they use, first of all, having Jalen Coker and Tommy Tremble over on the right side, right? And neither one of them go out into the open field. Neither one of them run a route. Tedero McMillan does what it looks like an 8-yard curl, hitch, whatever, stop. And then you've got Jimmy Horn Jr., who came across in motion, who literally almost got taken out by Ike Ekwonu on the snap because he got blown off the ball so quickly. So that's what messed up the rhythm of it already. And that's exactly why I don't like the call at all, is because you're implementing additional ways to fail. When that drive was the most successful drive you'd had since the first, where you got the turnover and you turned it into points, right? This was literally the most successful drive they had on offense. They were moving the ball down. They were using a good variety of pass and run plays. I thought this was a perfect opportunity to lean into this identity that they have, right? You're going to get points. You're at the 20, right? You're at the 20. Ryan Fitzgerald can be confidently trusted to hit a 37-yard field goal. Like, that's what you should think, at least, right? He's missed, I think, 4 on the year or something. The problem that I have is that when you look back on it, it does appear that it's a double move by T-Mac. He runs that curl, and then his right foot hitches to the outside. When I initially watched that play, I couldn't tell if it was for sure a double move or if it was him coming back because he saw Bryce looking like he was going to pick up the ball, and so he was trying to work back and get into second play for his quarterback. But thinking about the concept of it, it's got to be a double move, because you either, even if he's not the primary target there, he's got to pull somebody away for Jimmy Horn Jr., who is the only other player running a route on that concept. It's an unnecessary play. It's exactly trying to get your dick sucked through a donut. Just take the BJ, have a good day, leave the pastry alone, have it for breakfast in the morning after you get a good night's snooze. I saw Jay Got the Juice. First shout out my man, Jay Got the Juice. He said in here, he says, 1000% forced a trick play just to be able to say we left it all out there. I don't doubt that either, as being part of the thought process of, hey, we really wanted to catch him off guard. And then somebody will say, well, did it catch you off guard that they did that? Right? Yeah, because it was boneheaded, not because it was going to work. Like, you got to have more options there. It's not my cup of tea. But hey, we fell ass first into a playoff spot, so I'm going to try to reserve a little bit of my angst here.
The play call was idiotic. This has come up before with Canales, and we've talked about it on this show. of just head scratching plays, and I really hope it doesn't come up this weekend. Uh, man, the donut. If you guys haven't watched this show since Ricky's become a part of it, has become a staple. It's just like the W video.
Sorry about that.
And the minute that play happened, I think we all probably texted either a donut emoji or sent it out. Panthers got way too cute there. It was a terrible decision. I cannot defend anyone who backed that play call. It was a bad one. And I was hoping Canales was not going to double down on it, which he did. And he didn't. He said he didn't mind the call at all. And he liked what it was. It was the defense, what he was seeing from the defense I made. Yeah, he's not sorry. That's good. He shouldn't be. And just a brutal decision. And I did see some folks defending it online. It was a dumb one. And that could have changed the outcome of the game because they only lost by a field, or at least tied it with a field goal. So awful decision at that moment. And led to a series of other things. I think the other big headline from this game, and we can talk about it, and we all know that I could probably go on a rant about it for an entire hour, is the referees in this game. Time after time, whether it was the face mask that was never called against one of our guys, whether it was the offensive pass interference call by Tedero McMillan. And I know I'm already missing one. There was another one in this one, and that it might even be bigger than, I can't remember what it was. So someone help me out. But they were brutal across the board. Brad Allen, I'm trying to wipe.
You got the Rico one? Did you talk about the Rico one?
No, I didn't. See, I knew I missed.
That's the craziest one.
Yes, the Rico Dowdle, where they called it a
clusterfuck. It's just called a clusterfuck. Yeah.
And blew the whistle, and then said after the fact that it should have been a replay of downs, and they never gave it to him. So just a series of Brad Allen's crew should never ref another game in the NFL, and those guys are calling the Buffalo Jags game this weekend. So prayers to that both those fan bases, because it was a disaster. There's a reason why. Not only because I like to cheer on the Panthers at the games, but there's a reason why most of the time my voice gets lost at these games. It's because I'm bitching at the referees about some bad play call in the game. So that really pissed me off. And it was good to finally see social media and other fan bases realize what the hell was going on, because it looked blatant. It looked really bad. And it looked like it was all centered on the Carolina Panthers, and the Bucs were getting away with everything. So thank goodness, the saying, the ball never lies. The Falcons won, and we're still in the playoffs, so it really doesn't matter. I think I would be even more sour if that wasn't the case. But man, the Panthers got fucked on all those calls. So my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I mean, when you have the broadcast basically stating how blatantly obvious these missed calls were, and they were dumbfounded as to how they continued to happen throughout the game, I think it's pretty clear that it was one-sided. Not like a conspiracy theorist, tinfoil hat guy, but I mean, when things like this happen continuously in a game and everything's going against you, and it's so blatantly obvious, missing calls, ripping off Tommy Trimble's face mask. Curtis, you mentioned the Rico Dowdle. They come back and say, well, yeah, they had a chance to replay the down, but that was never offered to Dave Canales. He's not going to willingly accept a 7-yard loss and just move on. Like, let's be smart here. It was definitely one of the worst ref games I can remember in my existence. And I hate being the guy after my team loses. It was the ref's fault. But in this game, I mean, really, you have people across media, national media, different fans of different teams that watched this game. Like, everybody saw this. It was so obvious. And I agree with you, Curtis. If it wasn't for Carolina, hashtag ball don't lie, in the Falcons winning, then I would be much, much more upset with this. But Carolina got in. Fate was on our side with those missed calls. and thank goodness for that. But before I let Ricky go, I want to mention we currently have 146 entries. I am caught up in the chat right now.
That's
please,
the most of any of our giveaways, by the way.
That is the most. Please,
still decent odds too, right?
Comment hashtag playoffs on tap for your entry into 2 tickets. Section 540, row 16, if I'm not mistaken. Almost right on the 50-yard line up top in the 500s. It's a great seat. It's better than where Curtis and I will be sitting. We would love to get some of our listeners there. So please comment on it and show up and be loud. This is your chance to get free tickets to an expensive playoff game.
The key: be loud, stand up, make sure everyone in your section is standing up.
Curtis will call you out.
I go after anyone. Section's over. Like, stand up if you are able and make a lot of noise and make it hell for those Rams on Saturday. Ricky, hit us with these penalties.
I will. First, I want to touch on this comment from Panther Bo because Bryson's not wearing the hat anymore, but he said Bryson looks like the pimp you don't talk back to. That was tremendous. Reminds me of Gator from the other guys, Will Ferrell's character. So I shout out Bo. And before I do it real quick, let's hit these couple new members. Yes. Nicole Montenegro Blanton, new member. There's 3 for you right there. Cheers. Guys, I was about to say earlier when we were going through the initial comments of the chat, I drink almost a whole beer just cheersing everybody in the very first segment of this show.
We got a lot here.
Our chat is so active, dude. I absolutely love it. And I say that just to point it out and say how much I appreciate that from this show because I watch some other podcasts. I've guest spotted on some other podcasts. I've had other podcasts that don't have this level of interaction, and it rules. For the people that are making the show and creating this content, it rules. Another new member right here, Cheers. My guy, Edgar Salmingo Jr.
Edgar!
One of the finest gentlemen there is on the X-Bird.
Cheers, Edgar.
I'm hoping that Edgar, there's a chance that if he gets these tickets, boys, we might just be able to convince him to fly down from California. He said he was thinking about it. So this may be his desperation thing here, is that he's trying to do that. All right, so I wanted to hit those, and then we have one super chat that I want to hit before we get into it. Tiger from Pennsylvania. That's our buddy Zach. Says, Panther up, fellas. In my opinion, Canales can't multitask as a head coach and offensive coordinator. He should focus on the culture of the team like Nick Sirianni does with the Eagles. What would be your opinion of having Jim Caldwell as offensive coordinator? Playoffs on tap. So, Zach, you get yourself, that's 4 more entries, right? Because increments of 5. So you get 4 entries there. And you got the hashtag, and you're a member. So, Zach, you are sitting in this bucket of picks right now with 8 of them things. Congratulations. That's awesome. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you, bro. Man. My opinion, boys, about Jim Caldwell being the offensive coordinator is that Jim Caldwell hasn't been around modern football in quite some time, and he's doing this whole senior analyst, special analyst, whatever he's doing to get paid.
I'm good. Thanks.
Yeah. All respect to the OG Jim Caldwell. I think that he's probably really valuable when it comes to like trying to figure out that timing thing that you're talking about, Zach, trying to like delegate and prioritize and do those things of a head coach and offensive play caller, because Caldwell knows about that. I just think that advice is as far as I'm willing to go, and I'm not even completely sold that advice has paid off tenfold for what we have seen with these problems that you bring up, Zach, about not being able to multitask. I think that the best solution would be to have another different play caller, but that is Canales' value, and he is not going to give that up. But if he does give it up, I think it would only be for Brad Isaac, who I have no idea what Brad Isaac does as an offensive play caller because he's only called plays with Andy Dalton. And is it Idzik? I thought it was Isaac.
Yeah, it's Idzik.
Okay, well, the Isaac of March. Is that what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Touché.
I'm sorry, literary nerd. Yeah, okay. So Brad Idzik, he's only called it with Plummer and Andy Dalton with second and third string offenses. I give Canales some time, man. He's got to figure it out. I've got my questions about it, but we're in the playoffs. We're going to try to figure this thing out, right?
Exactly. Clay Wright here was a new member as well.
Oh, yeah, Clay.
Cheers to you, sir.
3 more for Clay. I bet you Clay's got a couple things packed up for the show tonight. Clay, you understand what I mean by that, bud?
Grayson, cheers.
Cheers, man. See, look, I'm already going to run out of another beer just cheersing all of our pals.
I kind of went real quick on Zach's. Bryson, do you want to take a stab at that too at all with Jim Caldwell?
Yeah. I agree with you, Curtis. I'm good. I think he has been out of the league for a minute, and I think that while Canales has struggled maybe with his consistency in play calling, I think his scheme and overall operation of an offense has been improving and somewhat effective at times. So I think Canales is on the right track. He's still learning as we go here, as that play caller. But I'm good on Jim Caldwell. I'll pass on that one. I would much rather Isaac, as Ricky says.
Thank you.
I'm going to do my damnedest to try to just stay on top of this because we're getting a shit ton of them. Jessica Martin, $9.99. Glad I found this channel. Talk all things Panthers. Keep on.
Yeah. I'm glad you found it too, Jessica. Thanks for being here.
Now, I did see a comment before asking if we're going to be at the tailgate. We will be there. We're trying our damnedest to get Ricky there as well.
I'm there. I'm committed to it now. As long as, and
Chat,
the only
you heard
preface,
it here first.
Yeah, you guys hear it. I'm breaking some news. Breaking news about me going to a tailgate. Like, holy shit, everyone's on pins and needles waiting to hear that, right? No, look, you guys have tried to get me to come out there. You guys know I've started, covering the Panthers for Pro Football Network, and I do have my timeline, my deadlines and stuff, but I don't really give a shit. It's time for football. I will write a couple of things before I even leave the house Saturday morning, and I'll just publish them later, right? We're going to go to this thing as long as I don't end up sick, because I got a 7-year-old who just went back to school. As long as that little kid don't pick up some germs, I'm going to be good. I'm there, man. I wouldn't miss this. Honestly, I'm very, very excited to be there. And I'm going to have drinks with everybody. Speaking of drinks, before we get into this whole referee thing, can we have a drink together? And maybe while we're setting up our drink together, we just do a little. It is good. It is good.
That's
Cheers
a good video.
for the Johnny Drum. We'll bang the drum one time here. Keep pounding, guys.
Keep pounding.
And real quick, gentlemen, we skipped over a comment here. Well, another gifted from Talon. So he has gifted 10 memberships tonight.
Talon, the man.
We are going to have to figure out how to do that. I might send you guys an idea that I have on the private chat. Let me know what you think. But 10 total memberships from Talon.
I can't figure it out, gentlemen. So someone help us out. Maybe somebody. I'll try to do some digging, but I'm also trying to pay attention here too. But also, we got to give Talon some entries as well, because that's a $4.99 membership per one of those. So I'm just.
Talon just says it automatically gifts them to subs. So there's subscribers that are automatically assigned. So you're going to see new members. Perfect.
Oh.
That makes it super easy.
Does it for us,
man.
Well,
Talon.
yeah.
So Talon just literally just threw all of these memberships out. So whoever has been a member or a subscriber of Panthers on Tap, 10 of y'all just got 3 more entries of Talon's generosity. That's sick, bro. Good work, Talon.
Man. Hell yeah, that's really cool. Sorry, we're new to this stuff here.
So real fast, I'm going to do the refs thing and then let's move on. I thought, right? Wasn't that the question? Yeah.
No, you already did the refs.
Did I?
I believe so.
I thought I did Zach's question.
Oh, no, you did it. You're right.
Either way,
right.
Look, the refs were atrocious. That's it. I mean, the refs were atrocious. It's exactly what Bryson said. I'm never going to be the kind of guy who sits there and says, like, we lost this game because of the refs. I hate that. That is like the bane of my existence as far as excuses that football fans make for their team. You got 60 minutes of the game. The calls don't change it. You got enough time during the football game to make the right plays, make the right moves, make the right adjustments. But this game is the very first game that I can tell you I honestly sat there after the game and I was having a beer on my back deck with my wife, and she was like, "Are you good?" Because like I wasn't upset or anything. I was just sitting there and she was like, "Are you good? Like you're acting strange." And I was like, "I'm good. I don't know what's happening with me." I was like, "I feel like I am wearing tinfoil on my head because I think that those refs cost us that football game, like directly. I think they cost us the football game. They took 9 points minimum off the board for the Carolina Panthers, and we lost that game by 2 points. It drove me nuts. I thought that the Panthers played better, but we got an opportunity to play at home and erase all of those bad feelings. I am so focused on this next game. It's like what the Panthers players and coaches have said all season, right? A shit situation happened, flush it, move on. And that's where I'm at.
I did want to touch on just a couple other things in this game, and that was Jalen Coker. His role has obviously expanded over the past several weeks. And Bryson, I guess I'll go with you on this one. I know you're not surprised by this at all. You were talking about his rise, and you were a big fan of him coming out. Talked about him taking over for Leggett start of the year. That's obviously come to this point now. Canales was even asked about it and said, he's deserved this opportunity. But just talk up Coker. Talk to me about his rise over these past 2 years.
Yeah, have you guys seen Coker's drop percentage throughout his entire NFL career? 0.0%.
I think he did just get credited with the drop from last
year.
No.
Okay.
Wait, there was an official credit change. It's crazy. An official credit change on the Giants game last year in Germany. Yeah.
What? Oh, that's bullshit. That's worse than the refs this past weekend, man.
But even just one, right? It's like 1%. It's okay.
So what? 0.5, we'll call it. All right. I mean, the man catches everything. He's electric. He's consistent. He plays with attitude. He really does. He's a quiet guy, but on the field, he's kind of got like that switch, kind of like what people would say about Luke Kuechly back in the day. Like off the field, he's like this nice, like nerdy dude, but on the field, he's just an animal. And you see that with Coker's play. He has really turned into like a comfort blanket for Bryce Young. Bryce Young's looking his way often, and because he's proven when he throws it to Coker more times than not, Coker's coming down with it, and it's going for a touchdown. It's going for a long first down. It's going for, so many positive things. So it's not a surprise to me that Coker's taken over really that wide receiver 2 role from Xavier Leggett. I don't think Leggett's career is over or anything like that, but I think Idzik had said it today, it's a production business, and Coker's been producing, and Xavier Leggett has not. So, I'm not surprised with it. I think Coker is a hell of a wide receiver. Ricky, I can't remember. I believe is he a restricted free agent this offseason?
Yeah, it's a tendered restricted free agent. So like he's exclusive to us. He cannot go anywhere. We'll negotiate with him. We'll get a deal. And I don't even think it's at the end of this season technically that we have to have him signed by. It's the end of next season. But we have exclusive negotiation rights with him. So Coker's going to be in Carolina, man. They're not.
He's getting a deal this offseason.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. Coker's going to
pay that man. Period. Point blank. Don't let him leave.
Just on the flip side of that, real quick, the wide receiver room, because we touched on it last week, and we finally got to see a Jimmy Horn pass that was over 10 yards in this game. It wasn't a jet sweep. It wasn't a screen pass. He got open. Bryce hit him. Kind of underthrew it, but he was under pressure, I believe, during that play anyway. But yeah, it was kind of I think it was a 20-some yard play when all was said and done. So I keep hoping that we get to see more of this. And I don't know that's going to be like this huge overflow of Jimmy Horn everywhere, but I like that he's starting to see a little bit more and more time. So hopefully that expands, and I'm excited to see what he can do with it, because I do think that guy has some potential. Ricky, anything on either Coker or?
No, I'm excited. I think I'm only excited that the usage is starting to happen the way that it's happening. The verbiage that Dave Canales and the staff are saying, as far as it's a production business, Brad Idzik, I hear that's how you pronounce this, Brad Idzik. That's what all the cool kids are saying in school. They both said that this is a production-based business, right? And that Xavier Leggett and Jalen Coker still both have their individual roles in this offense. They still have their parts that they play. But saying that this is a production-based business over and over about this situation tells you they are not oblivious to the fact that Xavier Leggett is struggling. And they are not oblivious to the fact that Jalen Coker is, in fact, not struggling. They want Jalen Coker to continue to get fed because when he does, he eats it all up. This dude doesn't drop passes. This dude can make people miss after. And it's not just because he's shifty or ultra dynamic. His contact balance is phenomenal. Like, this is the kind of stuff that you need if you're not a dynamic ultra athlete, right? If you're not the Tyreek Hills, if you're not these I'm going to run away from everybody type of guys. Puka Nacua is one of the best yards after catch receivers in the NFL. And it ain't because he ran a 4.3, guys. Puka Nacua is like a 4.5, almost 4.6 guy. Very similar to Jalen Coker, but he's explosive. He's got some burst, and he has insane contact balance. That is what Jalen Coker does. That is what Jalen Coker can offer. And I think that Canales and them, they're finally starting to lean into it, and I love it. And yeah, Jay's right. XL got his chain took. And it is what it is, man. You know what, Jay, I know that you'll appreciate this and that you'll agree with this. To be honest, I can speak for you. I feel like he needed to protect it better. Like, he didn't protect his neck. He was out there flossing with it and showing it off and showing everybody the big Cuban links, showing everybody the big VVSs, right? And it was shiny and it was pretty and his hands were in his pockets. So, yeah, someone snatched it. That's not anyone else's problem but his. He should have shown up to work, and he didn't.
If you haven't known by now, Ricky is a wizard with analogies. I mean, I'm
just an idiot who has a skull full of stupid shit. That's all.
They just flow right off the damn tongue.
I do.
Off the cuff too. It's amazing. It's a talent for sure. I just wanted to throw this out there. You guys know, my buddy Kramer texted me, and I thought this was funny. You guys should all have Cousins jerseys on right now. Shame on you, he said.
Oh, please. You know who actually won us that game, right? You know who actually won us that game?
Tyler
fucking Shock.
Yeah.
Tyler Shock. Like, that was it. Man, when he threw that interception, I was like, I've been saving that fucking clip from that episode for so long, and I couldn't do it because we blew it in the actual Saints games. But when he threw that interception, guys, I was like 9 foot up on a ladder taking down Christmas lights at this point, and I was looking in through the big window, and I'm hanging upside down, literally like Clark Griswold. Like, I basically got like a handkerchief tied around my ankle to the fourth rung on the ladder. And I'm like, just hold on. I got to get a look at this. I saw it, and I immediately, I like slid down that ladder just like Clark Griswold, got on my phone, sent that tweet out, got right back up to business. I have my honey-do list was yanking at me.
We got Bailey Talks, Panthers. She's now a member.
Let's go, Bailey. Now you got 3 extra entries in. I saw Bailey earlier. She was trying to tug at the heartstrings. I got to tell you something, Bailey. That wheel that we're going to spin at the end of this night don't got no heartstrings. I feel for you. I want your daughter to be there. I want her to win. I want everyone to win. But unfortunately, we aren't made like that here. Not yet. But maybe the Believe Network might see all this and enjoy this and want a little bit more.
Exactly. Panther fan Kevin, also a new member. Appreciate you, sir.
That's another thing we don't even talk about enough is that, you know, we got picked up by the Believe Network towards the middle or three quarters into the season or whatever. Go check out their stuff, man. Make sure that you're, you know, watching us on the Believe Network too. Show them that it's worth it. And they might start throwing a little bit of advertisements. If we get some advertisements, some more of them, we might be able to start giving away like, what, 4, 6 tickets a game? I don't know.
Yeah, Bailey's going hard. Bailey's going hard.
I feel it. Hey, get in where you fit in. That's what, 4 more entries?
4 more entries. Appreciate you.
What does it Herm Edwards say? We play to win the game, right?
I think
you don't
she
play
has
to
8
lose
entries.
it. You play to
8
win.
entries now.
8 entries. See, she's right up there with Zach. Got competition, man.
All right, let's have one conversation, and then I think we're gonna flip this and go to the Rams game here. Let's talk about Tedero McMillan. So the regular season, it goes off, or the awards at the end of the year go off the regular season. So he finished 1,000 plus, and I don't know the exact number, but I know it was 1,000 plus, and I know it was more than Kelvin Benjamin, I believe. 7 touchdowns, 70 catches. Does he deserve Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Hell yeah.
Tell us why, Ricky.
Look, as the number 1 supporter for Tyler Shuck
I guess.
The Carolina Panthers.
I know I wanted to go to you last, damn it, because of that.
Get him while he's still got the hat on because he's going to take that fucking thing off soon.
Yeah, it's coming off in a little bit. But absolutely, Tedero McMillan, who has done it consistently over the course of the season, deserves Offensive Rookie of the Year. He has been the best wide receiver from this NFL draft. He has been the best wide receiver on this Carolina Panthers team. He has helped lead the Carolina Panthers to a playoff spot, hosting a division, hosting a playoff game, winning the division. I think T-Mac has done enough, man. He really has, and I think it would be a travesty, a disservice to not give him that. Shuck played well towards the end of the year, but he didn't do it throughout the entire season. I think when you look at like Shuck stats for quarterback compared to what Tedero McMillan did as a rookie, as a wide receiver, Tedero McMillan's season was more impressive, in totality. So T-Mac, Offensive Rookie of the Year, he better win
it. If we normally see quarterbacks win these awards, right? And the argument is normally, why do quarterbacks win? Well, because they impact the whole team so much. They impact the win-loss record. They do so much. They're involved in so much. What did Tyler Shuck do for the Saints that was so much more involved or so much more impactful in a beneficial way than what Tedero McMillan did for the Carolina Panthers this year? Because look at his number 2 wide receivers for Bryce Young. Less than 400 yards receiving. Now, Jalen Coker missed, 6 games with the hamstring? Slowly got back into the mix. Xavier Legette missed 3, I think, this season. Is that correct? Somewhere in that ballpark range. Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I've had one of those Johnny Drums. I'm on the second IPA, so everyone just bear with me. But Tyler Shuck, last time I saw, man, they're still losing football games. They beat us, and I'm not trying to play like holier than thou, right? But they're not in the playoffs, are they? They're not second place in the division, are they? Like, the last I saw, Tedero McMillan's team did better, and he was a significant, if not the most significant part of this offense. I mean, let's just call it like it is. If you had Adam Thielen instead of Tedero McMillan as the wide receiver 1, you think that this offense looks like what it did? And it didn't look terrific, boys. It was struggling at times. But there was a bailout button this year in Carolina, and that was Tedero McMillan. I think with Jalen Coker coming into it, I think looking at some things that they could do next season, free agency, the offense could be better. But this year, Rookie of the Year, there's not a better offensive rookie. There's just not, man. No need to overcomplicate it. He's by far the best. Emeka Egbuka had his run, and it was unsustainable because he got replaced by other people. He was a volume guy. Tedero McMillan was a focus guy. He was a cornerstone of an offense. That's Offensive Rookie of the Year for me.
Yeah, and I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. So I'm still trying to do some
Appreciate
research.
that.
But 27 explosive plays he had this year, which is tied for, I think it was 5th in the league, most by a rookie. And that's the likes of which over the last 5 years, Devontae Smith, Jamar Chase, Kyle Pitts, McConkey had it. So these weren't just, these slant routes and things like that. These were explosive plays down the field that him and Bryce connected on time and time again. And I love the interception number. I love the touchdown number for him, 7. I think we were all around that in our predictions. But getting that as a rookie is, man, like Dave Canales from the jump talked about this was going to be the featured guy. This was the Mike Evans of our offense type player. And
he said that about Xavier Legette, actually.
Yeah, he did. You're right. But you get my point. That's who he wanted to feature, and he definitely did that. And I don't think he's tried to hide that at all. He's made that pretty damn clear in press conferences and the way, they run this offense. It's through him. But it's exciting, man. They made the right pick. Like we talked about in the beginning of the year, do they go defense? A lot of us, I know me for sure, wanted a defensive guy. And, they kind of went against the grain and kind of went out of nowhere, even shocked the player that thought they were going to be drafted by us. And hats off to Dan Morgan, Brant Tillis, Dave Canales, and the offensive staff to go out and get a guy like that, man. It's just, they did a hell of a job, and I think they shocked a lot of the league. And this was like a pick. If the Rams made it, the 49ers made it, it would have been talked about way more, I think. So just hats off to the front office for making this happen, because they made the right decision, and this helped Bryce Young's growth greatly this year.
And this Rams team that everyone loves to, suckle on the power teat from, They wanted Teteroa McMillan. That was their target, right? And some people will say it might have been Colston Loveland, which might have been smart as well because Colston Loveland has been terrific this season. But they ended up with Terrence Ferguson. So they clearly had a plan to bring in another dynamic pass catcher, but they wanted him too. Before we get into the next game, Curtis, I saw this comment from Panther Dog, longtime listener. Appreciate you, Panther Dog. He says, "Pimp hat, but where's the cowboy hat, Ricky?" I think this is a good time to remind everybody the cowboy hat was only for winning weekly games. We didn't win. And that's what the W video was for too. So unfortunately, we also will not have the W video tonight. What I do have for you, Panther Dog, is this. I hope that suffices, Panther Dog, because it sure does tickle my funny bone.
And I want to mention again before we get into the next game, 168 entries, guys. We have 746 people, 700, oh my God, the number keeps, 753 right now tuned in. All you have to do is comment hashtag playoffs on tap to enter this giveaway for 2 tickets to the game this weekend, the playoff game, the home playoff game, first time in a decade. The Carolina Panthers, the stadium is going to get going crazy. We're going to get into who's banging that drum. I'm wearing a hat. I'm wearing a jersey. Please comment on it. Make me work. Make me add.
You know who's banging the drum? Johnny Drum.
Johnny Drum's banging the drum.
Keep talking while I pour this shot.
Yeah, get in for your chance to enter. Free tickets to you and a friend, you and a partner, you and a son, you and a daughter. Get out there, cheer loud for hopefully a win this weekend.
I'm loving the lettuce coming out of Ricky's hat there in the back. Look at that.
Oh yeah,
lettuce.
y'all see that hair? That hair is getting long, bro. It's long. It's long and crazy. You know, my kid. I'll take a quick programming break to tell y'all a personal story because I love talking about my kid. If you never watched this show, I'm very proud of my son. My son is a huge Panthers fan, by the way. 7 years old. Tonight we are in the, he got done with the shower, getting dried off or whatever. And his mom has been saying he needs a haircut, man. His hair's starting to get unruly. That's what she kept saying, right? And she's not wrong. But my hair's unruly too, man. We're wild boys. But I said to Max, you know what I said, boys? I was like, Max, there's a thing in sports though, bro. That if you got, like, when you go into the playoffs, right? Or you're in a playoff run, you don't cut the hair. You don't cut the facial hair. You grow it. That's the rally hair, man. You don't change something up right before the game. You let it run. So what we're doing here is Max immediately looked at me and he wanted the haircut. He wanted it bad, but he looked at me and he goes, and I apologize for my 7-year-old using profanity, but I'm his dad and I'm a hellion myself. He looked at me and goes, "Oh, hell no." And I was like, "Oh, hell no what, little buddy?" He goes, "I'm not getting that haircut." I was like, "You bet your ass you're not, dude." So Panthers win so that my boy can keep that rat's nest on his head too so that we can continue looking like vagrants together because that's kind of our style right now.
This might be my favorite comment. Rip to Ricky's shit.
No kidding. No kidding, bro. No kidding.
Oh man.
Cheers to Johnny Drum, and then we're gonna get into statistically speaking after that. Or do we want to do statistically speaking before the Cam stuff? I'm assuming.
Yeah, but I do want to just highlight just the giveaway. I know you talked about it, Bryson, but did you mention the ways to enter? I might have missed it, man. I'm sorry, man.
Curtis is on a real kick tonight of not watching his own show that he's involved in. It's kind of his thing right now.
Watch. All right, let's just statistically speaking. You're on mute.
What a professional show, because I was on mute the whole time that I was telling the segment. Yeah. We are absolute aces tonight, guys. And the good news is we only have 770 people watching the show right now. So for all of you that are new in here tonight, appreciate you being here, first of all. This is a little different setup that you guys are going to notice that I got here for Statistically Speaking tonight. Because guess what?
Yeah.
We don't need, usually at the bottom right-hand corner, guys, I got what I highlight as the biggest thing, right? And that's the records. The records are gone, man. That ain't in our wheelhouse this week. It don't matter. And these numbers, you'll notice, are round numbers. These are the numbers from the Week 13 matchup because we've already played these Los Angeles Rams. So what we're going to talk about is knowing your enemy and what got you here to the dance and how to replicate it, what got you success, what didn't get you success. This is what we are focused on. I don't care what the Carolina Panthers did. I don't care what the Los Angeles Rams did for the duration of the season. It will not matter come Saturday afternoon at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. What will matter is what they have seen from the Rams, what the Rams have seen from us. Can we replicate some of the success? Can we limit some of the issues that were actually existing in that game that we got away with? So let me kick it off with this. The offense here. And you see the new background here because we are on the biggest stage. So I've got all these things on a stage. This is our stage. This is our moment, guys. Points scored in Week 13 against the Los Angeles Rams, 31. Terrific offensive game. Very efficient offensive game. We'll get into that. Passing yards, only 194. We talked about this after the Week 13 game. We talked about it on the show the next week. There's a lot of fans that were saying, hey, a good game, you got to have 275, 300 passing yards. It can't be a good game without it. Shut up. I'm going to be very polite when I say it. Shut up. It was a great game, and he threw for 194 yards. He went 15 of 20 for 194 yards. The Carolina Panthers rushing attack, this was the last time that we saw it be a lethal production. 164 yards. Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle combined for 100 yards. When they do that, the win record for Carolina goes up exponentially. That is a key area to keep an eye on in this game. Now, we usually have the EPA per pass attempt. I wanted to keep that because I think that shows the efficiency of that part of the offense, right? Plus 0.61. If you guys watch the show all season, you would know the EPA per pass was awful here in Carolina. This was one of our most efficient and most productive games throwing the football. And the reason for that is because of picking and choosing and drawing up concepts that actually worked. Protection was good. We'll get into that as well. EPA per rush, negative 0.03. Despite the fact that they actually put up a large amount of rushing yards, it wasn't overly efficient by at least one party. I'm not trying to blame Rico Dowdle, but Rico Dowdle, this was kind of when we started having that conversation. Hey, did the magic wear off a little bit? Right? Like the couple weeks prior and this week, we started seeing Chuba look like he was getting completely healthy, right? It was right around that Jets game. Chuba started looking like he had a little bit more burst. The offensive line was still executing pretty decent. This game, I believe we did not have Cade Mays was obviously out, but I think that we started Austin Corbett at center and Jake Curahan at right guard. That was a big part too, and we'll get into some of the details on why that was a big part. We threw the ball only 38.7% of our offensive plays in that game. I think that that is a recipe for success, and you'll see it on the keys on this next slide. Here were the keys to that game, guys. First of all, clean game, right? Clean operation on offense. 0 interceptions for Bryce Young. There was also no fumbles, but the interceptions are key because when you're only throwing the ball 20 times, you got to be effective with that. I anticipate that number going up. I don't think they'll throw this football 20 times in this game. I think that it will be a little bit more than that. I anticipate the Rams being a little bit sharper on their end. Their EPA on fourth down. Guys, this was the story of the game. Plus 13.4. That was the most by any team in the NFL in the past 4 seasons. It was absolutely game-changing, the execution on fourth down. Now, I posted a stat on Twitter tonight. We had 27 fourth down conversions this year for the Carolina Panthers. That is the most by an NFL team since 1978. People were quick to point out, well, look, man, the philosophy was, if it's third and short, you run the ball to get it even shorter. Absolutely. But that goes into the whole point. That is a foundational philosophy that Dave Canales and Brad Idzik, that's the way it's pronounced, by the way, Brad Idzik, not Idzik. Don't ever do that. Brad Idzik. That is a foundation for what they do on offense. They want to do it. It is Dave Cajones. Shout out to Coach Matt MGAG, I believe it is, on Twitter. and Edgar Salmingo, Panthers analyst, for the assist on that. Dave Cajones, if it's Riverboat Ron, he is now Dave Cajones, the way he operates on fourth down. This is the one I was talking about with Jake Curahan playing inside. They were more physical at the point of attack, guys, and they were able to create a little bit of movement at the line of scrimmage. 4.2 yards per carry on inside rushes. They had 19 attempts versus 3.8 yards per carry on outside rush attempts, and they had 16 of those. So it was fairly split, which I do want to see them get back into that, because I don't think that what we have seen recently, we have seen a plethora of inside rushes and not enough outside. They have got to attack this wide zone concept that Dave really needs to pivot to. His mid zone that he was running, it's been answered. It's been figured out. Get back into the wide zone, get back into some power, get back into some tosses, really figure it out, get some of those insert blocks, a lot of motion into it. Let Jalen Coker work in that. Xavier Legette, as much as we want to talk about him, get him involved in the run blocking game because he is very effective in that manner. I would like to see that. I would like to see the heavy packages, the 12 and 13. People question, is Dave Canales actually a disciple of the Sean McVay offense, right? That Los Angeles Rams playbook, if you will, the scheme, the concepts. He is, but he's moved away from it. But what Sean McVay does, he runs 12 and 13 personnel a lot as well. And he does a lot from there. He's multiple from there. And that's what we need to be able to do in this game. On the defensive side, I did put one team statistic here because I think this was crucial and this was a big discrepancy in this game. The Los Angeles Rams had one penalty for 5 yards in this game. We had 7 for 70. So we were shooting ourselves in the foot in opportunities as well. Clean that up, because I think we were the 4th least penalized team in the NFL this season. Clean that up and get back to Panther football. What they always talk about is playing our brand of football. That is all we need to focus on ourselves, not anybody else. Limit the penalties, clean that up. Third down conversion rate, we just talked about it. On defense for the Carolina Panthers, they only allowed 40%. And that may seem like a high clip. We've been allowing like 56 to 57 over the past 4 weeks, and we have not been able to get off the field. The Rams were 2 for 5. We have to replicate that at least. We have got to be better on third down on defense. We cannot allow them to stay on the field. That is dangerous. Time of possession is our best friend, and you'll see it on the slides for the Rams. Takeaways in this game. We forced 3. Matt Stafford came into this game having thrown 28 touchdowns without an interception. The first interception ruined that streak. The second one got us 7 points for a Mike Jack pick 6. The third takeaway was a game-sealing strip sack from none other than, in everyone else's heart and mind, Pro Bowler Derek Brown, who gives a shit what the Pete Priscos and all those suntanned idiots want to say about the NFL. Derek Brown is a Pro Bowler, and I just really wanted to figure out a way to get some Pete Prisco bullshit into this because I absolutely loathe him with the entirety of my being. I hate that guy. If you guys could tag him, we're going to dice this clip up. We're going to get it out there and tag him incessantly because he loves to talk about analysis where he has no business talking because he hasn't done it. I've done the analysis. Here's the truth. The Carolina Panthers are not bums like he likes to say they are. Bryson, would you like to take over the next segment here?
Let's do it, man. Let's keep the tradition going. It got us to the playoffs. So, all right. The offense, and Ricky, this was in particular in the game that they played against the Carolina Panthers.
Correct. And now, look, you'll notice it's only offensive slides because we don't need defensive slides because our defense is against what these are. So you can also see what each defensive unit allowed. There was no need for a second slide.
Yeah. All right. So 28 points scored. The Rams in that game when Carolina came away with a W. 227 passing yards, which was a very good mark to hold Stafford to in that game. 152 rushing yards. I felt like in that game in particular, Corum had a pretty good game, and then even Kyron Williams, he had that kind of legendary pop from Lathan Ransom in that game, but I felt like the running backs were pretty effective, and that EPA per rush does kind of lend to that. EPA per dropback is negative 0.21 in this last game that they played amongst each other. And then, like I mentioned, the EPA per rush 0.54. You had Kyron Williams with positive 0.25, and then Blake Corum with positive 0.83. Two numbers that we hope to bring down in this game. We need to kind of take away that run game. That McVay offense is deadly off play action. It's deadly. It's deadly really any way you want to slice it. But if you can if you can stop that run, then it kind of does make them one-dimensional. And then 57% of the time they passed against the Carolina Panthers defense in this game.
Bryson, one thing I'll piggyback on with the EPA per rush.
Yeah.
We got some good news today in practice. Bobby Brown was a full participant, which means he is navigating through the concussion protocol. Turk Wharton has been a full participant. It is very plausible that we have both of them available on game day on Saturday, which is, I know Turk has been disappointing, but having all hands on deck is a good thing. And I think that is a very important thing to monitor with this game, because Blake Corum, this Rams team had 4 rushes of 10+ yards against us. They had 2 touchdowns on the ground. We have got to limit their run game, because their run game is their foundation for their pass game, as you just talked about with the play action with Matt Stafford.
And Chairless, whatever you think him,
yep.
he's been the full participant the last 2 days too. So
yep.
All right, we'll get into the keys here. 19.1% Matthew Stafford turnovers. 2 interceptions. And
that 19.1% shouldn't be there. I don't know. It's supposed to say 3.
Okay.
That's my
fault.
fault.
Right. Yeah, that's why I was a little confused. I don't know if you can tell that. All right, 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions and 1 fumble. Again, defense had a really good game, man. Everybody came in lauding Matthew Stafford. He's had X amount of passes without an interception, and he broke the record. And then the very next play threw a pick against this Carolina Panthers defense. Even I think Matt Stafford made comments in the media this week that the Panthers secondary is one of the best that they played all year, and that he was not looking forward to it again, and that he hoped that he didn't give the Carolina Panthers the ball as much as he did in this past game. Matt, I hope that you do. I hope you give it to us more than you did in this game. I would appreciate that very much. Thank you, Matt. I'm sorry about your Bulldogs, by the way. 24.44 time of possession. So I imagine, just doing some quick math, the Carolina Panthers had more time of possession in that game, if I'm not mistaken there, Ricky. So keeping the ball away from this offense is good. You want them off the field. Again, it is a very potent offense with Sean McVay, Matt Stafford, MVP type year. So keep it away from them. Offense stays on the field, or our offense stays on the field, run the ball, and play keep away. 0% team stuff rate in week 13. That was our team stuff rate against their offense. And
no, that was their offense. They had no negative plays running the football in week 13.
And that can't happen. I mean, it really can't. Again, we mentioned the last slide, this offense is predicated on the run game. And if you can make them want to get away from that, then you have a better chance of being successful versus this offense. All right, so the Rams defense. Before I get into the keys, Ricky, I thought I saw last game, was it Byron Young that got injured?
It seems like he's going to be okay. Seems like he had like a little stinger or something like that. By all accounts, from what I've seen, he's going to be ready to go. I think he's been a limited participant, but I think that they anticipate him going. And Bryson, real quick before you get into those defensive keys, can I bring up one comment? Because we were talking about Turk and Claude and Bobby Brown. Sir Icy says, I thought you had to at least miss a week if you got a concussion. So, Sir Icy, it's not like that. There's not a set amount of time that you have to miss. It is literally steps that you have to go through with an independent neurologist. And what it starts with is that you have to go through and have at least like a limited participation, right, in a practice. Then you have to ramp up and you have to go through a physical practice and you have to show no symptoms of the concussion following that practice. It is very plausible that Bobby Brown showed no symptoms afterwards, but when he was pulled from the game and diagnosed, they looked at it and said, hey, he cannot go back in case he has a concussion. Now he just has to clear the protocol, which getting into this full participation that he did today, and Dave Canales said it himself, much more physical practice today. And we'll talk about Rob Hunt with this too later. This more physical practice, the status tomorrow will be huge for Bobby Brown, because if he got through that physical practice with no symptoms, he's probably going to get the green light.
And we need that. Absolutely. All right. So the Rams defense here, 29.2% quarterback pressure rate, the third lowest that Bryce has faced this year against a very good team that normally has a high pressure rate in this Rams defensive line. So the offensive line.
Their season pressure rate. I'm sorry, dude. I keep interrupting you, but their season pressure rate was 39.7. So it was 10% less than what they usually get. They got 2 sacks on Bryce.
That's outstanding. I would say game plan, getting the ball out quick from Bryce, and then also the offensive line playing well in this game. We talked about you had Kierhan at guard and Austin Corbett at center. Hopefully, we touched on it briefly. We get Hunt back and Mays at center. I think that's our best combination there. That would be outstanding. Okay, 110 yards against Emmanuel Forbes. 5 receptions, 2 touchdowns on 6 targets. Emmanuel Forbes, please play in this game and please play a prominent role. We would like that very much to replicate these numbers.
The pass interference call against T-Mac, that phantom bullshit call.
Yep.
Right? I want to see that exact same thing. Challenge the referees to call that one more time, because I have been clamoring for T-Mac to be more physical, right? Off the line and against press and against, coverage. I think that's where he can abuse Emmanuel Forbes. And I think that's where Jalen Coker could do it too. Emmanuel Forbes is a $170 soaking wet with ankle weight tied to him, man. Tiny. You got to abuse him. You got to take advantage of that.
Yeah. And then here we go. This is the big number. We all know what occurred in these 4th downs here. 100% conversion rate for the Carolina Panthers offense versus the Rams. I think Ricky, touched on it on the Panthers keys. Just an outstanding game on 4th down in particular for the Carolina Panthers versus the Rams. Clutch. Bryce has shown in those situations, when you need it, he's there. He's going to deliver. So hopefully, if we are in those situations again, the same thing happens, and the Carolina Panthers come away with a victory on Saturday.
Keaton asks here, do you think they will put Forbes on T-Mac after getting smoked? I don't think that the way their defense is similar to ours in a way, right? They're not able to just remove a piece of their scheme and a piece of their game plan just because of what happened in one game. They run a good amount of zone. They're going to continue to do that. Now, look, they get Quentin Lake back, guys. And Quentin Lake is a integral part of their defense. He plays a very similar role as Trayvon Merrick plays for us. He's a box safety that has some coverage flexibility. He's decent in pass rush. That is going to be something that we need to monitor, because our offense has struggled against those physical come to the line, disguise coverages, bring him up late and add an extra body into that box. That is something that we have struggled with, and it is a wrinkle that I think we're going to have to account for with Chris Shula in this defense on Saturday.
But Ricky, tell them who we're getting back who wasn't in this game.
Yeah, that's right. We didn't have J.C. Horn, guys. We didn't have Christian Roseboom, right? Like, we didn't have, who was the other one?
Trayvon
Merrick. We didn't have all 3 of those starters. And I'm going to tell you something, man. Getting Christian Roseboom back might seem really silly to some people because Christian has struggled. Christian Roseboom played for the Rams last year, guys. Getting him out there on the field where he might be able to key on things that a Claude Sherrillis or a Chris Barnes, and Trevor Wallace played in this game and he's out. We know that. But none of those guys played there. They didn't practice. They didn't see any of this stuff over and over in repetitive motion. Getting Christian Roseboom back out there is going to give us a potential schematic advantage to know what they may be doing. I'm not saying that he's going to go out there and have a Luke Kuechly day where he's calling stuff out and he knows where they are. It's not going to be the Cam Newton, oh, you watch film too. I'm not anticipating that level of advantage. But there are absolutely things that Roseboom is going to see familiarly that other players might not have noticed. And I think that that's a big thing for the Carolina Panthers.
One thing you touched on earlier, but I don't want to mess up your guys' flow. If you go back to the Panthers' keys on offense, Carolina has been terrible the past couple weeks on 3rd down.
Awful.
This Bucs game this past week, I think they didn't have a 3rd down conversion through like 3 quarters of the game, which you aren't winning a playoff game doing that. That has to get cleaned up immediately. And it's going to be a tough test going up against this Rams team this weekend. But they were 2 for 5. That's still not great in this game. Like, that's terrible.
Right.
And obviously they won.
But 2 for 5, if you have that limited sample, allowing only 2, you live with that, right?
Mm-hmm. And that was based. I mean, Bryce Young had, I think, one of his best games of the season against the Rams, if not the best. That's where you had limited 3rd down opportunities, I think. But anyway, I think that is going to be crucial for this offense. not only along with that is the run game. Like that has been non-existent these past couple of weeks. They need to get that going this week. That's how you make your money in the playoffs, is a solid run game. It's been proven time and time again. So they need to get their shit together when it comes to the run game. That's Rico Dowdle. That's Chuba Hubbard. And then they need to convert on third downs. And that is going to be crucial.
Shout out to Katie right here, because this is the backbone of what we do here on Panthers on Tap. We take something that has been an absolute negative and detriment and thorn in our side all year, and we find a way to spin that SOB into a positive manner. Katie says, what if they've secretly been shit on third down just to be secretly good, and they were waiting till the playoffs? Hey, you know what, Katie, I think the probability of that, I'd give it about 0.25% that's what's been happening. But that 0.25, you know what that means, right? That's what Kevin Garnett said when the Boston Celtics won the championship, right? Anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
Let's do it. I'm with it. If we can speak it into existence, let's do it. We're going to have so many good reasons to feel confident going into this game, despite odds makers having us sitting at negative, what is it, 10-point underdogs in this? 9.5, something in that range? 10 right now. And to be fair, that's where we closed. We closed at 9.5 in week 13. And I don't know if anyone is aware of this. I'm going to break some news real quick right now with just us pals and us friends and family. Between us girls, Carolina Panthers won in week 13. They beat this Los Angeles Rams team when this Rams team came in as the number 1 team in the NFC. So I don't want to hear it. I am not here for any of this kind of propaganda about we don't belong here. We don't deserve to be here. We won the games that we won against good teams, against playoff teams, to get here and be able to fall ass first into these playoffs. God damn it.
Now, you guys.
Go ahead. Real quick, I was going to touch on a couple of super chats here before we let them get too far down. We have another super chat from Tiger from Pennsylvania, Zachary Hernandez.
Zach just took the lead, didn't he?
He did. I believe that is he had 4, then 7, 8, 9 entries for Zachary Hernandez into the giveaway. Robert Hunt has to play this game.
That's a great segue. We were just about to talk about that. So thank you.
In the run game, enemy Cleet Blakeman makes an unwanted return. #playoffs on tap.
All right, Zach. One at a time, buddy. One at a time.
Well, let's cheers to Zach first of all. Cheers, man.
Zach. And Zach, we'll talk more about that here in a minute. I'm going to hit this other super chat, and then we'll get into the next topic.
It's the same thing.
Same thing. From Corey Haley 84. I think this is a new. I haven't seen this name. I don't know if you guys have. If it rings a bell, but it does not.
No. First time tipper, long time listener. I like it, Corey.
Let's go. 2 entries into the giveaway at $9.99. Getting Hunt back would be huge this week. Anything to get Corbett off the field. Agree 100%. I think Rico had a big game this week also. Playoffs on tap. Cheers to you.
I like that, man. Cheers.
Appreciate you, Corey.
Getting very close to my 3rd beer already.
Good. I like that. Now we're going to talk about Robert Hunt, right? But Curtis,
there's 2 guys I wanted to talk about.
Okay,
here.
But we're only going to be able to talk about those 2 guys because of where we are in the season, though, right? Because if it was the regular season, we wouldn't be able to talk about them. But it's not the regular season. And do you know why it's not the regular season? God damn it, it's not the regular season because we are the...
All right. So 2 guys.
NFC South champions.
David Moore activated, back. Hunter Renfrow, the training camp god, gone. On the practice squad again, I believe. I think he cleared waivers if I saw that earlier this evening. And then Rob Hunt, full participant in practice in back-to-back days. So let's talk about those 2 guys. We all know David Moore was pretty big on Bryce's development these last couple seasons, has been kind of a safety blanket for him. and moments, outperform Leggett, which isn't too hard. Don't mean to be like that, but that's just the reality of it at this point.
What it is.
But he's back, so I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on him returning, and if you think that is going to do, if he's going to have a decent role at all in this game, or you just think they're just activating him and that just adds another wrinkle. And then where are we at with Rob Hunt? We all know Austin Corbett. It hasn't been great when he was at right guard. He was, I believe, the center against the Rams, which they won that game. Austin Corbett, this is also his former team, so he might be playing with a little chip on his shoulder. So with all that considered, I know I'm just trying to butter it up a little bit here, Ricky. Come on. Bryson, let's start with you. Thoughts on Moore coming back? Thoughts on Robert Hunt potentially being activated for this game? And actually, let us know, do you think he's going to be playing in this game? So all those.
Yeah, I mean, Curtis, you mentioned you thought there were times last year when David Moore outperformed XL. I think there were times last year when David Moore outperformed any wide receiver on this roster last season. And not to a consistent level where he was –
you drinking that whiskey you got over there?
And it wasn't some there were games where David Moore was the best wide receiver on this team last season.
He came up big in clutch moments. I'll give you that.
And I think they tried to involve him at a high level prior to his injury. Shout out to Ricky popping us in. I appreciate that. And
it's Oni, man. Come on now.
And I think getting him back is huge because, Curtis, you mentioned he's a security blanket for Bryce. I agree. I think anything – I mean, unfortunately, I really do hate to be like this. I'm the same as you, Curtis. Xavier Leggett cannot be on the field and make mistakes that he's made on a pretty consistent basis throughout this season so far in a playoff game where everything matters, everything counts. All right? Getting a veteran like David Moore back into the lineup is pretty big. And I think that it's going to hopefully make dividends, on Saturday. As far as Robert Hunt, I do think he'll be back. If I had to guess, I think he'll be on the field. I saw his comments today about his arm is not going to be perfect, but he thinks he can play with it. That makes me a little hesitant because I don't know if Canales is the type of coach to put a player in there who pretty much openly says, hey, I'm not 100%.
I don't think so. I don't.
Yeah.
I think Canales is pretty damn stingy when it comes to guys being ready to roll, but we'll see.
And I kind of lean that way a little bit too after, his comments today to the media. I wish he wouldn't have said that, quite honestly, because it kind of puts Canales in the corner a little bit with the way he's handled things in the past with player injuries, and then basically everyone knowing that Robert Hunt might not be 100%. So I'm hoping he's good to go because we need him, man. He is arguably, I don't even know if you can argue, the best offensive lineman on this team. And getting him back after missing a very long time would be huge. An emotional leader for sure on that offensive line. An emotional leader on this team. Getting him back would only hype things up even more than what things are going to be on Saturday. So I'm hoping he returns. But after the comments in the media, man, I am holding my breath for that answer.
Can I give a rebuttal real quick to the comments in the media part?
Sure.
Because I heard a comment that he made that went under the radar that actually makes me think that he feels pretty confident in his arm. He said that last week, they asked how was he last week, right, compared to this week, and he said, "Oh, better than last week, getting better." He said, last week it was just a matter of just not feeling like like I was really ready to go. The first thing he said goes, "My legs just weren't there yet." So what I hear when I hear that, right, is it's a conditioning and it's an endurance part. And then I go back to a comment that Canales made last week before the game where he said, we don't want to put Rob out there just for 10, 12, 15 plays, whatever, a handful of plays, right? We want him to be able to play an entire game. That endurance piece, that ability to move around and move heavy guys around, right? Because that's what he's doing. I mean, it's like, you remember that movie, This is 40 with Seth Rogen and Paul Rudd, where they trip acid and or trip mushrooms and they go to like Cirque Olay in Vegas and they're watching them and they're like seeing these guys lift each other up. And he goes, Oh man, could you just imagine that being your job? It's like, hey, what'd you do to work today? Oh, no, that I just lifted my brother up 10 times, right? Like, that's what I feel like the offensive line in the NFL is like, what did you do today? You just lifted heavy dudes. You lifted muscular, heavy dudes around. You move people. Like, being a people mover wears on you, dude. And it's not just your arms. It's not just your upper body. A lot of it comes from your lower body, right? Like, that is where I think I actually gained this tiny bit of confidence. Is that what I heard is that he needed to feel more confident in his lower body. That extra week of physical practice, this week of physical practice. He had 3,000 strips of K-tape on his arm today in that post-game locker room or that post-practice locker room interview. That's not going to change. But there are things that you can do if structurally it's okay and he has been cleared by the medical team, which he will not play if he's not cleared by the medical team, right? So we don't have to worry about it necessarily being a Canales call. It's going to be the medical staff. And if everything is structurally okay and he doesn't run a risk and it is just a, hey, are we confident you could play an entire game? What he said today sounded a whole lot like he was like, hey, I'm good to go. And he actually said it himself. Said, I'm good to go, but I'm going to let them make the final call. When a player tells you that they're good to go, that's putting the screws on that team and say, don't not let me be out there for that playoff game, dog.
He's going to be out there.
Get here. I think he's going to be out there, man. I truly do. If he responds well to today's practice, I would be surprised. He was a full participant all last week, too. So don't get confused by the designations. A lot of walkthrough last week as well, right? This is a more ramped up version of practice. They want to know who they can count on and rely on. That is playoff football. That is playoff practice. I think that if Rob Hunt says that he's good and he is cleared, I fully anticipate seeing Rob Hunt out there at right guard on Saturday.
Curtis, before you go real quick.
Hey, we made 1,000 listeners on the night. Appreciate it all. You get a little. Oh, I don't even.
What the fuck is happening?
Hey.
Gongs and shit.
I'll pause it so it doesn't keep going off. I've gotten better at that. Bryson, you need to fix your connection. You keep pausing in and out.
He said, I've gotten better at that while it pauses on him.
I don't know what the hell's going on with his connection, but he keeps going. He's got that Walmart connection over there. But we have a ticket giveaway this evening. We'll be getting into that at some point here. Comment, hashtag playoffs on tap to enter for a chance to win the 2 tickets. Section 540, row 16, Cam Newton returning to the bank. Panthers' first playoff game in 10 years. Be there or be fucking square. It's going to be electric. If you are a member of the tap room, you already automatically get 3 entries. You can get another entry by commenting the hashtag. You can also get another entry by giving away the super chat. I don't know why Ricky is laughing. I'm sure
you said hashtag again. Every time you say it, it makes me chuckle.
So we appreciate every single one of y'all. We got a ton of entries. I know Bryson probably has the number. I think that's maybe what he was queuing up before I hit the bongos and the gong and everything else that I was having fun with.
183.
So look, think about that though, guys. Even with, and 183 doesn't mean 183 different people. There are people in here with almost 10 entries. Correct. You are up against potentially only, 125 people to get free tickets to the first Panthers home game in damn near a decade. And Cam Newton, which we're going to talk about soon, is going to be involved in this thing. If you haven't heard too, these 3 beautiful mugs that you see on your screen, these 3 mugs will also be in person at the Riot Tailgate. We're going to do this thing the same way we do it on Wednesday nights. We're going to go out there. We're going to show our ass. We're going to talk shit. We're going to talk ball. And we're going to amp this team up and get ready to win this football game on Saturday.
Amen. Just real quickly on this, David Moore, I'm happy he's back. I'm glad he made it back for this playoff game because Bryson talked about it. He's had some key plays for Bryce Young over these last couple of years. Knows Dave Canales' offense inside and out. Can give you another guy in the return game. It's not going to be electric, but he'll be a security blanket in the return game, which is, I think, even more crucial in the playoffs because every single possession matters.
Curtis, I wanted to ask you, the special teams element was something that I don't think we touched on enough, but it's not even the return game. I think him in the other core 4 phases, I think that he adds something to the special teams that they have also been missing because they don't have reliable gunners. They don't have reliable guys. And David Moore has been that for us. He is a veteran, man, through and through. And he knows what Tracy Smith, he knows what Dave Canales, he knows what they are asking him to do. And having that on the field, having that confidence in players on the field, I think that's huge in the playoffs, man. We are a very young football team. So having some of these like nicely put veterans, right? It's like seeing a pattern, a chain pattern. You get a couple of these veterans in there, I think it's very big. I have no idea why Bryson is laughing as hard as he is. I can't wait to find out the reason for it.
I knew it was coming.
Black Adam Thielen, isn't that a Netflix show?
This is so random.
Robert Hunt. I mean, most of us agree with this. If the guy can play, put him in there. I mean, there isn't a better option at right guard right now than him if he's even 80%. Put his ass in there. I think Carolina needs to get something jump started, and I hope he is the key to unlock this run game struggles a little bit more. That remains to be seen at this point, but this run game needs to get going in this game. I think it's going to be important.
You'll see this comment from Keaton. If we win the Super Bowl, I'll get a tattoo. I want to up that. Oh. Now, look, y'all know me. I saw this and I read it as a challenge, right? And also, if you guys know me at all, you'll know that I have some really stupid tattoos. I have buddies that were like tattoo apprentices that just worked on me as like a live canvas. I don't care about tattoos. If we win this game this week against the Los Angeles Rams, I will get a tattoo of a skeleton taking a cowboy hat off and saying, "I tell you what."
Oh,
I will get that somewhere. Okay. If we win this game this weekend, I will have that before the next playoff game. How about that?
Beautiful. His neighbor is a tattoo artist. Don't let him lie to you. He get it for free.
Right on the lower back. Might as well be a bullseye.
No, Ricky, you got to get on your ass. Like
no, that's not going to happen. Nope. That's for my wife's eyes only. I'm a gentleman.
All right, boys. Bryson's been waiting for this moment. We'll talk about this, and then we'll get into predictions. So Cam Newton, we've been waiting for weeks. Everyone thought this was the way to go for Carolina. Everyone said if they didn't do this, it was a big old Ron Rivera missed opportunity. And Cam Newton is returning to the bank to pound that keep pounding drum. And like we said before, will probably cause a small earthquake in Charlotte. That stadium will be rocking for this. He also will be doing his 4th and 1 podcast at the Roaring Riot tailgate on Saturday before the game, which is also insanity and is going to be crazy. As Ricky pours himself another Johnny Drum, I believe. Hopefully I did that right. Yeah, Johnny Drum. Oh, shots. Bryson, you have the jersey on. I know you are a massive fan. This is your number one. Talk to me about this moment and how big it is, not only for this playoff game, but for Cam Newton and his relationship with the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, roll out the red carpet because the king is returning to the Queen City. All right? Cam Newton is returning for the first playoff game in Panthers in the past decade since he's been on the team. All right? I've been begging for this all week on Twitter. I've been just like someone holding a cup out for a couple coins. Like, please give me Cam Newton. Please give me Cam Newton. And they came through. Sounds like, the front office, the owner reached out and, they've made it work. And then we get the added cherry on top of of Cam doing the podcast at the Roaring Riot tailgate, which we'll be at. Sounds like we're going to have to get there pretty early. This thing is going to be, if I read this wrong, I'm mistaken, but open to the public so anybody can come? Is that correct?
No. It means open, meaning you can come, but you still have to pay to get in. It's not a free event. You still have to pay to get in.
Okay. All right.
Unless you're a member. If you're a Roaring Riot member, obviously you have access to the tailgate.
Yeah. I'm still going to have to get there early because it is going to be packed. I agree with you, Curtis, 100%. The stadium is going to be nuts, man. Nuts. So many fans wanted this to happen. We understand the relationship between the Carolina Panthers and Cam Newton, even after his return to Carolina in 2021. Like, it's been fractured. And I think that's pretty clear through the relations in public media between the two. It feels like Cam has still repped Carolina. He wears Carolina things on his podcast. He loves the city. He defends the city. And it finally feels like the franchise is welcoming him back, especially to pound that drum for this playoff game. So I'm so excited, dude. I was going to the playoff game already. And I think if I wasn't beforehand, knowing that Cam's there, like that is the extra motivation I would need to get out and see this, because I really believe this is going to be one of the best moments in franchise history up to this point. I don't know how much more hype you can get the fans. I don't know how much more hype you can get the players seeing this happen. Like the return of the greatest player in your franchise's history. I don't care what anybody says. Cam Newton is the greatest player to ever wear this jersey. I will defend that till the day I die. MVP, quarterback, brought so much to this city, still gives to this city. And I think just a great human being, and bringing that back and hopefully working on that bridge to repair that relationship, getting him in that ring of honor eventually. No one deserves it more. I think Cam Newton returning is like, I'm getting chills thinking about it, man, because that stadium is going to be the loudest I've ever heard it. And I was there for his game. We both were, Curtis, when he came back. They played the I'm Coming Home song, him coming out of the stadium. That was awesome. That was one of my favorite moments, as a Panthers fan, going to Panthers games, in my adulthood. This is going to be up there. And I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited to see him at the tailgate doing this podcast. I love it. I love Cam Newton. I love the Carolina Panthers. I love that we're in the playoffs. I love that we won the NFC South. And I love that we're going to beat the Rams Saturday.
Ricky, if I could go.
Please do.
Yes. I don't know if this relationship between Cam and the Panthers has mended, but I will say it's a big step in the right direction. This is a beautiful moment the fans deserve. And I think that's key. The fans deserve this. We have been through hell ever since David Tepper took over this team. There's no doubt about that. There's no denying that. Between cutting Cam, the wheel of death of QBs that we've had over these last 6-7 years, and everything up to this point has been horrible. But we are finally starting to see the turnaround and a first playoff appearance, home playoff appearance in a decade, the first since 2017. We deserve this. That is the biggest thing. The fans wanted this. It made way too much sense. If you wanted to try to patchwork and mend this relationship, this was the start of it. And I think that is huge. And I think it's bigger than just this game, because I think eventually you're going to see Cam Newton obviously on the Hall of Honor. You might even see his jersey retired. No one has worn that jersey since he took it off. And I think that's even bigger than everything else. It is going to be awesome. There's no doubt about it. That Commanders game when he came out there against Washington and Ron Rivera and all of the old nostalgia of that game coming back and everyone wearing the hats. Bryson has one of them on. I had one on earlier in this episode. That was huge, and you can tell that this fan base cares deeply about Cam Newton. And when he came back for that one home game, it was huge. It was bigger than any game that season. And that guy only played a couple games and not even a full-time role at times. So this is going to be huge. And I'm just happy for the fans because like I said, we've been through hell. And you could not choose a better moment for him to return in the first playoff game since 2017 when he was at the helm. And man, is it going to be special. I just hope that the team delivers on what this moment is going to be, not only for Cam Newton, but for this franchise, because this is going to be the most electric this Bank of America Stadium has been probably since the Cardinals' massive NFC Championship win in 2015. I think that's how loud it could get at Bank of America Stadium this weekend.
Let me start here by saying, even if it's not a repair of the relationship, right, Bryson? even if this is a moment in time, right? Because sometimes those things happen. Sometimes a fortuitous opportunity comes up and every party agrees that this is good for us, right? Even if that's what this is, it's a gigantic moment in time. It is not just a moment in time. It is the moment in time. This fan base has wanted the acknowledgement from the franchise towards Cam Newton. They have wanted the public involvement of Cam Newton with the franchise, right? That is exactly what it is. But what I'm reminded of, you guys talk about how loud this stadium might get, right? And how monumental it could be. Dave Canales was involved in one of the loudest moments in postseason history. And it came with the Marshawn Lynch earthquake run, right? Against the New Orleans Saints. And a really similar thing happened with that Seahawks team. They weren't a good team coming in. They had the lowest point differential of any NFL team to make the playoffs in modern NFL history. I believe it was a negative 97 point differential for that Seahawks team. They came in against the Saints. And Marshawn Lynch, now I know this was a during the game play, right? But he had the entire stadium in Seattle, the link, shaking. I have an article that's out right now, shameless plug, from Pro Football Network, because about an hour after I heard that this had been done, I got an article published. Because this is that big of a deal. Cam Newton is, as Bryson said, one of, if not the most illustrious and productive players to ever put on the process blue. You can argue Luke Kuechly, because Luke Kuechly was at the head of his position for the entire duration of his career. And what he meant to this franchise was great, especially with our tradition of linebackers, right? Steve Smith, you could argue if you want to. Cam Newton is the most polarizing player. And when he shows up on Saturday, banging that drum is not just banging the drum like Steph Curry bangs that drum. He comes out and it is a solidification of this is not a team that is rolling over this week. I am here to let you know, because you know what Cam Newton never did, boys? Cam Newton never rolled over. Not even in his car accident. That mofo slipped out of the car. He ain't roll over. He got out of it. And he missed that game, but that was the epitome in that moment where we were just like, dude, he is Superman. He can withstand everything. Cam has done this really cool thing, I think, this year, which I'm a huge fan of, and it's how he has talked about Bryce Young and about the adversity that he has faced as the Panthers quarterback, knowing the pressure that a franchise puts on a number one overall pick in this savior complex mentality for quarterbacks. This is a moment. I'm not saying it's a passing of the torch moment, because that's not it. And it also depends on the performance on Saturday of the team. But this is Cam giving his official stamp. Each time he hits that drum, it's him putting a postage note on it. And he's saying, this team, this Carolina team, is the team that I came back for. This is the team that I'm willing to suck up pride for. This is the team that they're willing to suck up pride for. This is the team they want fans to feel pride for. And on Saturday, when he comes out and he does that, and at that Roaring Riot tailgate, when we're all out there and we're drinking and we're having a great time, we're talking about how this Panthers team is going to go out and beat these, high-end LA Rams. They got all the good talent. They got the nice young coach. It's just, he's tremendous. We don't give a shit. We don't give a shit about it being pretty. We don't give a shit about statistics. We give a shit about winning. And Cam Newton is bringing that energy. Bryce Young, the offense, this Panthers defense, they're going to come out and they're going to answer that bell, literally that hitting of that gong. They're going to come out and they're going to answer that. And the atmosphere will be electric. And as long as this team can harness that, that's the only thing that I worry about. That's the only teeny tiny bit of me that worries about it, is harnessing that energy and not being overwhelmed by it. But what we have seen is that in big moments, this team can show up. Show up on Saturday, let Cam Newton be the catalyst, and then let these guys who actually are suiting up and playing, let them be the vessel that brings us back to that righteous feeling that we so long have longed for.
Before we get to our predictions here, I'm going to just give one last chance for y'all to enter. For the wildcard weekend playoff tickets, 2 of them, section 540, about the 30-yard line, row 16. All you got to do is comment hashtag playoffs on tap to enter. If you are a member of the tap room, you automatically get 3 entries. And if you send in a super chat of $5 or more, you will get another entry into the giveaway.
Can I do one more thing real quick?
Yes.
Because we missed one thing earlier, and then I was just involved in a conversation on Twitter because we were tagged in some things.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay. But before that, when we talk about Cam Newton and we talked about the franchise reaching out, we talked about Cam like swallowing pride and stuff like that. I want to give a really big shout out to Sheena Quick, beat reporter for the Carolina Panthers, because my understanding, seeing all of this unfold, is that Sheena has played a very pivotal piece in making some of this happen. Sheena and Vashti, they run their quick blitz spaces. They do their halftime spaces. They have been in the trenches covering this team for a long time. And Sheena, whatever involvement she had, I don't know, so I'm not going to speak to her professional involvement here. But she clearly had a big part because she's the one that announced it. And so shout out to our media, our local media, for getting involved and making some of this happen for the fans, because Sheena and Vashti have always been for the fans. So I just wanted to give her credit for that because I think that's important.
Yeah, I want to shout out Sheena because she gave this little podcast at one point a chance when we weren't very big and came on her show and gave us the time of day when others haven't. So shout out to her. She's one of the best beat reporters we have, and we are grateful that she is covering this team. So can't send enough love her way because she deserves it. But yeah, the giveaway, Bryson, do we have a count now of where we're at, of how many people?
Yeah, we are at 184.
184. So there you go. Chat, you've been sending in your predictions. We'll get to that in a little bit here. But man, here we go. Wild card. Rams, Panthers, second game since November. Carolina won the first matchup. I believe it was 30-28. Hopefully I had that right. Again, Ricky said it. Now, that might be in one of our answers, so I'm not even going to say that. All right, let's get into it. Bryson, without further ado, take us away here.
Man, this is a matchup that is not going to be easy. We talk about the Carolina Panthers playing them earlier in the season. Carolina Panthers coming away with a win. A lot of things went right in that game. We talked about the 3 takeaways. We talked about the success on 4th down for the offense. I have a hard time believing that you have Cam Newton pound that drum to start the game. You get the crowd that involved that early on, and hopefully continually does throughout the entire game. I know we will be sitting up in our section, cheering loud, standing up, pounding the seats. We are going to be giving it our all, and hopefully the players in the field can feel that and hear that. I have a hard time believing that this team is not going to perform at a high level. I don't know if that's my bias or if that's just what I hope. I really think that Bryce Young has proven when his back's against the wall, and he understands and he knows, it's win or go home, or it's win or you're pretty much out of the race for the division, or whatever the case may be. He plays some of his best ball. So I think he's going to raise his play in the playoffs. I think Bryce Young's going to play very well. Just a side note, I did place a bet on DraftKings. I took the points for the Carolina Panthers. 10.5 is what I got the line at. I took Bryce Young over 200 passing yards. I took Bryce Young 2+ passing touchdowns. I took Rico Dowdle over 50 yards. And I took Rico Dowdle a touchdown. I think it was like $10 to win $300 and some dollars. I think that all is a very safe bet for the Carolina Panthers. So definitely get your bets in if you have a chance. But I believe the Panthers are going to shock the world, because everything I've seen from national media, we get that graphic every single week about the people picking the games. Not one person picked the Carolina Panthers. Not one person picked the Carolina Panthers when they played before this season in the regular season. everything I've seen, like on TikTok, on Twitter, whatever the case may be, everybody's taking the Rams. This is an easy win for the Rams. This is a first-round bye for the Rams. The disrespect, I think, is something that Canales has to key in on for this team. We beat these guys. we beat these guys already. And now they're coming back to our house to an environment where the crowd is going to be on a different level than they were previously, with a team that has confidence because, again, we've already beat you once. I think the Panthers win. I really do. I think that they are going to shock the country and make it to the next round of the playoffs. So I'm going to take the Panthers 24, the Rams 20.
All right, I want to go to our chat here for a second because we've gotten a lot of predictions in. I'm just going to rip right down the list here. So Keaton Bullock here says, for my score prediction, I'm going with Cardale Jones special with a score of 98-35 Panthers. If you
Love
know,
it,
you know.
Keaton.
Talon 27-24 Panthers win off the leg of Ryan Fitzgerald. I love that. You even tell us the game winner. That's beautiful. Katie 31-24 Panthers. This has been a while since I've seen this in the chat, to be totally honest with y'all. Panther dog, 27-18 Rams. Taylor Harrison, 30-24 Panthers upset Rams. YKTV goated, 13-10 Panthers. Very low scoring.
Ooh. Accounting for the weather there, maybe?
Yeah, Nicole
Montenegro Blanton.
34-30 Panthers.
One of our new members, Nicole Montenegro Blanton.
Panthers Tone, one of the goats, 23-20 Panthers.
Let's go, Tone.
Chris Dillard, 27-24 Panthers. And one of our new members, Jessica Martin, 20-17 Panthers. Ricky, take it away.
First, shout out to our members for doing that. Tone, will you drop in the chat if you're going to be around on the pregame and if you're going to the Riot tailgate? Because I'd love to have a beer with you, bud. All right, so here's the deal. Panther Dog kind of give me a little inspiration here for starting this thing off, right? Panther Dog is one of the only ones that has come out and said that he's not entirely sold on this Panthers team just winning. They're 10-point underdogs, guys. Like, them winning is not supposed to be the consensus pick. I saw all of the analysts on NFL Network, right? They all picked against the Panthers. Only one analyst had the Panthers within a touchdown, and it was a 7-point difference. Teams, players, executives, analysts, whoever it may be, don't seem to have a lot of faith in lightning striking twice. And to be fair, it is difficult to beat a team twice. We have seen that time and time again. We've seen it with the Panthers. We've seen it with almost every other NFL team, right? This is a really tough ask that you're asking a young team that is wildly outclassed by all accounts, especially, I'm going to go ahead and give ourselves a little pat on the back here, statistically speaking. This is not a game where we are supposed to feel as confident as we want to feel, okay? But I'm not Pete Prisco. I won't give analysis without having watched the football games. And I watched the Carolina Panthers play against the Los Angeles Rams in Week 13. And I didn't see the Los Angeles Rams give us their worst effort. I didn't see that. And maybe even in a little bit of a foreboding storytelling mode here, I saw a little bit of rain. I saw a little bit of slick play at the beginning of that game, right? If you guys will recall, that ain't new to us, right? This is still an early start for the Los Angeles Rams. They're still flying across country. And they don't have Cameron Jarrell Newton coming out to bang their drum and fire their team up. They don't have that. So I'm going to give you a little bit of poetry here for the final score for me. I think this game ends 25-24 Carolina Panthers in a 1-point win because one of the greatest Panthers players of all time wore the number 1 jersey. I think it might come down to the very last second of the game where Bryce Young leads his 13th game-winning drive since entering the NFL in 2023. And I think that Dave Cojones, when they tie that game up or when they're 1 point down at 23-24, I think they trail 24-17. I think they get in the end zone. I think they do it. I think Bryce leads them downfield, gets in the end zone. And I think that Dave Cojones, Degenerate Dave, whatever you want to say, Casino Canales, you call him any of them. I'm good with all of them. Because I think he shows up again. And I think he goes for 2. I don't think he plays for overtime in front of the home crowd. And I think that they score a 2-point conversion and they win this football game by 1 point. I think it's a close, contested game. I think it's going to be tight. I think defense has to do some things. But man, give me Bryce Young when the lights are bright. We are going to put Matthew Stafford back into his cryo chamber and figure out if he wants to keep playing football. Sean McVay is going to have to figure out if he still wants to coach. There is going to be a plethora of questions that come from such a powerful team. Devontae Adams in his big return and going for a title. Puka Nacua has just been running up the league. He's been tremendous. What happens when you run into that buzzsaw, which I've been calling a top 3 cornerback duo in the league? Y'all didn't see JC last time and you still struggle with Mike Jack. Y'all didn't see Trayvon Merrick last time and you still struggle with the Panthers defense. What are y'all going to do when you meet a team that is backed into a corner? And I don't know if y'all know anything about cats. You put them in a corner and treat them like shit, they're going to attack you. They're going to scratch the shit out of you, man. I think that's what this Panthers team does. I think they claw and they fight their way into a playoff victory in front of the home crowd. And the last memory that we have of this Panthers team this season at home will not be taking a knee against a team when we're already losing. It will be winning and kicking the kickoff off and watching them touch it and the clock roll out.
All right. I love it. Well said, both of you guys. This game, we've talked about it. Cam Newton there. First playoff home game in a decade. First playoff appearance since 2017. Going to be electric. The crowd, if you've been to the game the past few weeks, outstanding. Outstanding. Black and blue everywhere. Problem is, energy ain't going to win this game. It's between the lines on Sunday. Football, catching it, converting, running, and scoring touchdowns. The simple things. A championship moment, Dave Canales calls it all the damn time. Championship moment. It's another championship moment. That is going to be the key. Cam Newton coming back is great. That ain't going to win you the football game. It's going to be what you did on the practice field that week, and can you continue that on Saturday? And can you replicate what you did the previous time and do a little bit more, because the Rams are going to be ready for what you did last time. It's going to be electric no matter what. Matthew Stafford threw 3 interceptions that first game. He hasn't thrown an interception in the playoffs the last 2 years. But that changes on Saturday. He didn't face J.C. Horn. He didn't face Trayvon Merrick. He didn't face Christian Roseboom in that first matchup, and he had 3 in that game. A game none of us really realistically thought they had a shot, if we're being honest with ourselves. And they came in and won that football game in a rainy, sloppy game. And Bryce Young arguably played his best game of the season against the number 1 team in the NFC that no one gave Carolina a chance. And no one is giving Carolina a chance in this one. We've all seen that graphic. It is Rams across the board. Carolina is going to go into Sunday, and they are going to play between the lines and play football. They're going to cut the outside noise, and they're going to focus on a team. There is over 30 players that have not been in the playoffs ever. 30 players on that roster. This is a young team. They need to be disciplined. They need to play perfect. They need to not commit their own mistakes against a son of a bitch in Clete Blakeman and his crew. And they are going to get it done. It is going to be a tight one. Carolina wins 28. I won't go as close as these other guys. 28-24. Carolina wins this one and upsets the Rams, just like the Seattle Seahawks did, like Ricky talked about before, when no one had them winning this game. Give me Carolina.
You guys know what I'm excited to see? I'm excited to see Derek Brown play a playoff game.
Taylor Moton.
I'm excited to see Taylor Moton play a playoff game. I'm excited to see J.C. Horn play a playoff game. Chuba Hubbard. We have not seen these guys raise their play to a level of a playoff game before. You know, all the talk is the Rams have the experience. The Rams are a Super Bowl winning team. The Rams know what it's like. We have no idea what this team looks like in the playoffs. These guys have been so consistent in Carolina, playing at a high level through piss-poor seasons in Carolina. Now they get their chance to play in a playoff game 3 wins away from the goddamn Super Bowl, and we get to see what they look like on the field with that kind of momentum, with that kind of oomph in their play. We know what Derek Brown looks like during the regular season. He can't be blocked. What does he look like in the playoff game? You put him on one-on-one with a guard, you double team him in a regular season game, you're in trouble. In a playoff game, what does it look like? What does it look like when J.C. Horn's one-on-one with your top wide receiver, and he knows he's playing in a playoff game? I'm so excited to see that for our top-level players, and not even to mention Bryce Young, who has shown time in and time out when everything's on the line, he's raising his level of play, and Ricky mentioned earlier, 12 game-winning drives. When he knows the game's on the line, damn, he plays well.
Lucky number 13, baby.
Lucky number 13.
Bryson, how about, and I'm going to be a homer here for a second. You know the saying, ignorance is bliss.
Yep.
You don't know any better, so you just live the way that you live, right? How about a guy like Nick Scorton? A guy who is just all fire, and you're going to tell him, you're going to say, hey, man, you got to go make an impact today. He's going to go nuts in this game, I think. Against a guy like Jared Verse, you know, I know a lot of people want Nick Scorton to do better. Look at Jared Verse when he was 21 years old. His body wasn't even filled out. Nick Scorton is doing things right now at a young age that no one else in that position has really done for the most part. And he's doing it on a team that is asking him to do a lot. I think that you nailed it, Bryson. I think that we are going to see an uptick in some of these players who are not going to be absorbed by the moment. They're going to absorb the moment. And they're going to take it and turn that into fuel, man. Sometimes you eat what's in front of you and you shit that stuff out right in front of your enemy, right? That's what's about to happen here. They are going to go bipolar on this Rams team, where one moment it might look like we are in trouble. I'm not going to say this is going to be a pretty game where they're just going to look like, you know, they're in control the entire time. But this team has a switch that they flip, bro. And I think that this is a perfect setup for them to flip that switch right on a championship contender's head. And by the way, this is my 4th drum hit tonight. Just like the traditional thing that the Carolina Panthers do with the keep pounding drum that Cam Newton will do on my 4th strike here. We cheers to the Carolina Panthers winning this playoff
and
game.
We cheers to Michael Muehlhoff here as well. Appreciate you.
Cheers, Mike. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys for $20. Appreciate you, Mike. Thank you guys for a
entries.
fun season of entertainment, info, and analysis. Keep pounding, and let's go shock the world.
Let's go.
All right, Bryson's getting that wheel together. But while he's doing that, just a quick update. This was an hour ago. I know we convinced him. He's turned the tide. Just an hour ago. This is important for the game. This is Weather Brad
Panovich.
Yes, and I better get his he is at CNC. So he's at CNC there in Charlotte. We are now 72 hours. This is an hour ago on Twitter. Great guy. If you want to know weather for Panthers games, go give him a follow. We are now 72 hours away from the short-range future radar. It is. All right, settle down, Curtis.
Try it again.
And it's not very wet for Saturday evening.
There we go.
Still looks like isolated showers to a stray storm, but not overwhelming rain at this point. So there you go. That is the weather forecast as of this moment in Charlotte over Bank of America Stadium. He puts out little forecast for Bank of America Stadium, not even Charlotte, the stadium itself every single week. This is the guy to look to.
Brad's one of the good ones here.
It'll be a little wet, but let's hope. Let's all pray. I do not want to see lightning. Let's not have a delay in the game at all. Let's keep this wet if it wants to be wet. They played in these conditions against them before. But Bryson, without further ado, I think it's time. We've been waiting. Everyone's been waiting all up. So we got almost 1,200 people in here. 1,200. Crazy. I love every single one of you guys.
You guys ready to give away some playoff tickets, man, for the first time in Panthers on Tap history?
It's a big moment. All right, Bryson, bring the wheel up. And before we spin it,
I believe his Twitter handle is WCNC Brad, if I remember correctly.
Thank you. You got to be able to go to this game, whether you're giving it to yourself or you already have tickets and you're giving this to a family member or a friend. That's great. But we want people in these seats on game day. That is the most important part. So if you win, be there and be loud. If you do win and you have a YouTube account and you don't have a Twitter, figure out a way to get a Twitter and get in contact with us, because we've had it before where we've had people win. They don't reach out to us. There's no way of contacting them, and it goes to the next person. We will pick this. We will pick several winners just in case that happens. We do that every single time. So we will probably pick 3 to 4 winners, and we'll go down the list as we see fit.
And know also, for everyone entering, if you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, we will know that, and we will move on to the next person. The rules are the rules. They're very simple. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and be a Panthers fan and be able to go to the game. Anything else, you're just going to get disqualified for it, and we're going to go to an actual Panthers fan. No questions about it. We bought these tickets. We don't know it. We're going to give this to the right people so that we got the bank just flooded with Panthers fans. And by the way, I put the @ name for Brad Panovich at WXBrad on Twitter.
Again, I will reiterate this. If you do not have a Twitter account, find a way to reach out to us through Twitter, because we need to be able to confirm it and get you guys the tickets.
Bryson, you got YouTube, Kirk Pittman, right?
Yeah, YouTube does not allow us to message anyone. Yes. So just so you all know, there is no way on YouTube for us to message you, even if you're a member. YouTube is very strict on that. So if you have Twitter, that is the best way to reach out to us. And obviously, if we already know you already, we will probably reach out too. But I just want to make that crystal clear because it's happened before, and I do not want anyone to miss out on this, because I know there's a lot of people in here who have spent some change to try to get these tickets. All right, Bryson, I will shut up and you take it away.
Kirk, we got you, bro.
All right.
Got your entry.
You guys can see the wheel, right?
We can see it.
All right. Here we go. I'm going to click to spin. First entry.
I'm so nervous. It's not even for me, but I'm so nervous for y'all. No,
Grayson.
One of our new members.
That's
Grayson,
awesome,
6517.
That's awesome, man.
So Grayson,
and he's going to be at the Riot tailgate too, and he was asking us if we were going to be there because he wants to meet and have beers. That's awesome.
So Grayson, I do not know your Twitter handle, please reach out to us. But Bryson, let's do a couple more just as backups, since we always do.
Grayson, if you're in the chat still, will you put in the chat if you are Jason on Twitter? Because I know Grayson had the same SUN spelling as a Jason that follows on Twitter as well. So if you'll put that out there, I can reach out to you, man.
All right.
All right. Clicking it again here.
If it is Jason, he is very active on Twitter. He's a good follow.
Another new member.
Panther
fan Kevin. All right. So
there's a theme here. Members are the ticket, man.
And there you go. So Grayson, T-Mac, ATK. All right. I know this guy. All right. I will reach out to you. Fuck it. Spin again.
Do it one more time.
Spin again, and we'll give away something to these other two.
Yep. We're going to give something to number 2 and number 3. Who gives a shit?
All right. Here we go.
And that's because I just want to see everyone win, man. I figure out something. They're all going to get something.
Here we go.
Bailey talks Panthers. There you go. The heartstring tugging it worked for you, Bailey. You're going to get something out of this deal. It may not be the tickets that you wanted, but we're going to hook you up with some sort of Panthers stuff for you.
So I want to say this. I believe every single person that was drawn out of this was a member. It's the key. Yep. It's the key to this. To at least being picked in this drawing. We will figure out a way to get those other two something here. So if Bailey talks Panthers, and then also was it Panther fan Kevin, I believe was the other one.
Yeah.
If you guys have a Twitter handle, please let us know what it is. We will be in contact, and we will try to get you all something.
A question for the other two, Panther fan Kevin and Bailey. Are y'all going, or are you planning on wanting to go to the Riot tailgate to see Cam Newton and all of that stuff? Because if you are, what I would offer right now, I will pay for you to get into that tailgate. So if that is something that you are interested in doing, to go there and see the Cam Newton 4th and 1 show and have beers with the rest of Panther Nation beforehand of the biggest game that we've had in a decade, reach out to us, let us know. We'll get you entry into the Riot tailgate on us, and that will be our consolation prize for you. And shout out to Talon one more time, because there is a true chance that Talon was involved in some of these people winning, because he gave away memberships, and that is an awesome thing. Fan of the year, paying it forward is literally his thing. That is what he was nominated for. There is an article by yours truly on Pro Football Network where I got to speak to Talon and talk about his journey as a Panthers fan. If you don't know about Talon and you don't know about our Carolina Panthers fan of the year, please look that article up, not just for me, but for the sake of Talon, and go vote for this dude, because he deserves all the recognition. This is a good dude who loves the Carolina Panthers and wants our fans to have the best time they can have.
And also go donate to his fundraiser for lung cancer research. If you go to his Twitter page, you can find it there, and help this man out. This has been his drive, not only as a Panthers fan and what he's bonded over with some of the even players on the team. And then, like Ricky said, go and vote for him as fan of the year. We would appreciate it. And I'll just say this, Katie, we have not met you yet. You have been very active on our stream. Yes. You go to the games. We are in section 5. I'll tell you our seats. We're in section 5.
Katie, go to the tailgate.
We are 535, row 18, seats 6 through 8. Say hi to us. Do not be shy. I want to see you guys. I like seeing you guys and talking and shooting the shit about Panthers football. It makes our day. It's fun to do that. We got to meet Panthers Bo finally, who we've been talking shit to and having fun with on the stream. Got to meet his dad. That's been fun. We've talked and met with Kevin. We've had him on numerous times. We got to meet Talon and his dad. We've got to meet some of you. It is fun. Let's do it Sunday. Katie, do you know what even time they're playing at? Get it together here. But no, seriously, y'all. Say hi to us. Do not be shy. And if you recognize us at the tailgate, come by. We've had people come by and say, hey, we love the podcast. That makes our day. And I also just want to talk to y'all. And who knows, maybe we'll buy you a drink. So come by, say hi. Do not be shy. Ricky's
Saturday.
Is noticeable with his burly ass beard. So come by, and if you see Ricky, you'll at least notice probably Bryson and I. So no, we would
shout out Panther Bo. Curtis's head is even bigger
in
person.
I do want
Bo, you never seen my dome piece.
I do want to give Curtis a shout out here, because he was the main driver of these tickets, this giveaway. He did not even collaborate with us at all. He said, hey, I'm doing this. We paid for these out of our YouTube funds that we collect over time, from you guys, from our members, and Curtis was on it, man. He had a hookup through his season ticket rep. He took the lead on it, and Curtis won't ever put that out there himself. But I think Curtis, just getting members out, getting Panthers fans out there, getting people that listen to our podcast, was huge, man. And shout out to him for for this opportunity to give 2 tickets away to a game. If you buy on Ticketmaster, $300 a ticket. He he had the wherewithal to reach out to his representative, get these tickets for close to face value, a little bit more, and give these away to you guys. So shout out to Curtis for doing that. I'm very happy that he did that on our behalf, and happy for the winners that they get to go to the game. So Curtis won't ever take credit, but shout out to him for that.
Yeah, I'm not going to take credit. I'm giving it back to y'all because it's y'all sending us super chats,
no doubt,
memberships throughout the entire year. We're giving it back to y'all, and we have. I mean, this is our third ticket giveaway.
Not interested in stacking money, dude. Y'all support us. We support you.
Jersey giveaways. We've done a ton of giveaways this year, and that's what it's about. We want to fill up the bank. We want to give you guys the opportunity to go to games. Not everyone has the opportunity to go to games.
Yep.
Not everyone has the opportunity to go to training camp. So we want to get you guys involved as much as we can.
I might bring a couple vintage hats with me to the tailgate and give them out.
Uh-oh.
I got a closet full of awesome vintage Carolina Panther stuff. And my wife wants
the
me
whiskey
to
is
start liquidating
talking,
it.
folks.
So
it is here.
So maybe
wow.
I'll bring 3 vintage Carolina Panthers hats with me Saturday to the tailgate. Come and find us if you find us, and if you say "bang the Johnny drum" one more time for me, I'll give you a hat.
I love it. So hey, let's have fun this weekend. It's a big Saturday of football for the Carolina Panthers, biggest in a decade. And Ricky, before we do leave, let's play that video one last time.
We're NFC South champions, y'all. We're NFC South champions. Don't let anyone take that away from you, and don't let anyone take Saturday away from us. Let's go out there and let's show our ass and let's win this football game.
Amen. Ricky, while I'm standing by, please get the Ender video ready because once I cue that, you better hit it. We want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. We will see a lot of you guys on Saturday. First playoff game in forever. Let's make it loud. Let's be proud about it. We get to see Cam Newton back at Bank of America Stadium, and we are excited to see the Panthers host the Rams at home. Let's get that win. And as always, keep pounding. Oh, Ricky failed us.
It's not playing. I got to get it to play. It's not playing.
Hey, we start the episode out. We end the episode how we started?
I don't know. It won't play. I'm trying to get it to go. It won't play. Hold on. It won't do it.
I got it. Holy